Tasty, tasty. Tasty, tasty. Tasty, tasty.
Thing again.
Tasty,
But it's working
tasty.
now. It's working now. The mic did the thing again that it did last week. It's just decided it doesn't like it when I restart the app, restart Streamlabs. Who knew? Who knew? Right, okay, let's start first because there's been a ton of subs. I'm just going to replay this one.
Tasty, tasty.
Mr. Uskilling, he did that just before the stream started, but 9 months. Thank you so much, dude, for of subs. It's baby time. Yes, your PT baby is there, so congratulations. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. Who else is here? I think Captain Reed got first. Oh no, he's not first. Moons of Empire got here. Well done, Moons of Empire first. Captain Reed's here as well, so is Oz. So is Rue MC. Hey Rue, good to see you, dude. Angry Swan here as well. How many boards do we reckon Jay will manage to finish? So I think we'll finish 1, but if we can, I'd like to do 3, which we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. Wait, what? Why did it say the Optica Snake R2 keyboard build? That's not what I put. That's not what I put. Why is the title that? No, the title is correct. That's just Streamlabs being old. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. The title is correct for the stream. We are building the Optica first. If we do that, then I have a customer build. And if we get through that, I then have a Loki 65 build. So, we'll see. Greyhands, thank you so much for being here. Anarchy as well. Captain Redlack, thank you so much for the 5 months of subs, dude. I appreciate that. Honest Accountant says, how does keeping go on this fine weekend? It goes well. It goes well. Keeping also always goes well. Often with drama, but today, no drama. It's been a relatively quiet weekend, actually. Normally, what happens over a weekend is I get about 1 million pings and DMs from people who've seen stuff all throughout the week, and then they save them up and say, Jay, did you see this? Or did you see that? Or are you aware of this? Or someone's doing this? And it's like, okay. So that's usually how my weekends go. This weekend, not so much. No salad, no sauce. Thank you so much for being here. Sean Wes as well. Thank you so much for being here. Rue says, I thought I was being here too early. Did I pop in and see all the nerds already here? They're always trying to be as early as possible. Mellow RS, thank you so much for 4 months of subs. Piney TF, thank you for 5 months of subs. Prince Skipper Skipel, thank you so much for being here. Ojem's here as well. So is Jenga, Trojam2, Wolfine, Baroium as well. Cargreed, thank you so much for 31 months of subs, dude. That's crazy. I really enjoyed the blog post. Hope you're doing well. Thank you, Ballboy. I hope I just got a little bit antsy the other day. I tend to write things when I get angry about something or frustrated about something, and because I want to set up a coffee shop to go with my coffee business, the whole renting of commercial property, and because I'm also facing into this challenge with PT because this workshop, the lease expires at the end of this year, I need to find something to do about that. Because of all those things made me write the blog post. So like, I've just been very frustrated. Blackbrook is here as well. Good evening, good sir. Superhen's here too. Xenon B, Trojam, multiple build stream. Multiple build stream if we have the time, yes. I'm conscious that I'm not the quickest keyboard builder on stream. Kiwi's here as well. Random Keeps 2, Dutchmaster, JR Savior. I'm not sure about that, but yes, it's me. Prediction of how many boards Jay will get finished: 0, 1, 2, or 3. We'll get 1 done. 1 done. We'll try and get as many as many as we can done. What DIY did you have to do at home today? So, me and my wife are thinking of moving, and someone's doing a prediction now for how many boards are going to get built. I see much. So, me and my wife are thinking of moving house, and there's just a few little bits that we've never finished off. Like, I put a new ceiling in the bathroom when we did the bathroom 2 years ago, and there's some edge trims to go around it. So, I went and bought the edge trims today because it's 2 years I've never put them in. They need doing, so I went and bought those. We have an issue with our so our house has got a weird setup. We've got air conditioning for 2 rooms, like on a mini split system. Then we have for our hot water for taps, we have a ground a heat pump source, which is connected to the air conditioning as well now. And then for our heating, we have an old style combi radiator boiler type thing, and the boiler for our heating has an issue, but there's like a part of a boiler called an expansion tank, and basically what it is, it's like a pressurized metal case that stops water from going backwards through the feed and into the exchange where the hot air is generated the heat is generated to make the water hot. Unfortunately, ours has the valve that stops the water going into it has broken, and occasionally it gets water into it, and when that happens, the heating just ceases to work because it detects detects there's water in there, and it stops working. So I have a new expansion vessel, but I've tried to refurbish the old one. It's been working today. We'll see if that works. If it doesn't work and it starts to still go and we still lose our heating, then I'll have to change the expansion vessel. But that's a little bit more of an involved job, and yeah. So that's the DIY I've been doing today, as well as I also fitted some new light bulbs and things like that. We've got a whole Hue smart setup of bulbs around the whole house, and when someone stayed at our house last weekend, they broke the switches in the kitchen by turning the light switch on and off. For some reason, those bulbs just stopped working. Those Hue bulbs just stopped working, which shouldn't be the case, but they have been in the house for like 8-9 years. So I had to change those and relink those up to the Hue system, and then also into the Alexa, so we can control the lights. So yeah, because we just leave all the switches on, and then the whole house has like a series of automations that certain lights come on at certain times, or we can just say to Alexa, turn on the kitchen. It'll turn on all the spotlights in the kitchen or the dining area or whatever we want to do. So yeah, so those were the things I was fixing today. Anonymous Biker, hey man, good to see you. Rec17, good evening, good sir. Average Joe's here as well. Shout out to Jay for the rec for the Crush 65 colorway to company KKB Instant. It looks dope. You're welcome. Shout out to the SPC for the Switch choice. SPC rock. To be honest, you were spot on with the way it's going. Yeah. How many small businesses can survive these things? Oh, you mean the blog? Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Most of you are giving me like a good vote. You're saying that I'm going to be able to build 2 keyboards today. I think we might be able to. But yeah, the whole small business thing, it's tough out there, man. For any business right now, it's really, really tough. Half is not an option. 0 is not an option. Reckon 1 + 2, but we only get asked so many questions. 1 + 2, you would think 3? Interesting. Moving warehouse and house in the same year. Jay must be a glutton for punishment. Yeah, I mean, there's options around that. We may not move house. We may not move workshop. We may do neither. We may do both. We may move to a house that has a barn and I can put the workshop in the barn. I don't know. There's a million different things. Like the difficult part about it is, if anyone out there is a mortgage advisor, by the way, in the UK, I kind of need one, because I don't really have an income, because I don't get paid to do this like a normal salary, like not a proper salary, but like obviously my income's pretty decent overall with like other investments and things like that, and I have like quite a healthy deposit, let's put it that way, from savings over years. But yeah, like we're not even sure how much we can borrow on a mortgage. We've used a few online calculators and it's coming out with some pretty big numbers that are actually terrifying, and we've used some other calculators that are coming out with some numbers that are like maybe not even enough. So who knows? My expansion tank died and I have an external one now. Nice. Getting inside it is a pain in the ass. Well, I bought a like-for-like part, so I'll just do the same thing. It'll be fine. Found my extension tank hanging off the wall on one screw. Found it just before it ripped off fully and probably started massively. So the one inside mine isn't like a full expansion tank like you'd have in an old style, 60s home, like an immersion boiler. This is just like a small, it's like maybe 60 centimeters tall, probably not even that, 50 centimeters tall by 25 centimeters deep and 10 centimeters wide. It's not huge, so we'll figure it out. Alvi, good evening, good sir. Can I suggest a non-traditional mortgage broker? Had to find one myself. Yes, more than happy to look at that. Like, I just don't know what I can borrow. I don't know. Thank you guys. Yeah, just drop me some PMs and I'll reach out to those. Right, okay, so let's start with PT news, because a lot of stuff's been happening in the past week, so it's probably time to give you guys an update, I guess. Oh, that's good. So, what's been happening at PT? Pretty much everything from the last shipment is now handled and done, which is great. It's perfect. The only outstanding group buy from that shipment that we need to look at is SL Cypher. Now, this is a pain in the ass, because basically the manufacturer won't respond to us because we weren't the lead vendor, or Ashkeeps, because Ashkeeps has been trying to speak to them, and that's because he has the same issue as us. Switch Labs, the SL in the key set, are now defunct. They have disappeared, gone off the face of the planet. The owner is not replying to messages, Facebook messages, emails, anything else. He promised us a significant refund because he was getting a refund from the factory because the quality just wasn't there. Nada, nothing has arrived, no response, anything like that. So this looks like it's going to be another case of Jay gets bent over and slapped by a big loss. So what we're having to do now is cherry pick keys for each key set. So we're having to lay out all of the keys. So what I'm going to have to do is take all of the key sets out of the boxes, have a bag for all of the A's, put all of the A's in a bag, have a bag for all of the B's, put all the B's in a bag, have a bag for all the C's, put all the C's in a bag, and so on, all the way through every single key, 126 different keys, so 126 different bags. Lay out each bag of keys and cherry pick the correct number of keys that we need to fulfill group buy orders, and cherry pick the best ones. Let's say there's 50 sets that we have to do. Pick out the best 50 sets of each letter, put them all back in the base kits, and then ship them out. That's what we have to do. A bag of bees? Well, not that type of bees. A bag of bees might be more pleasurable than doing that. I won't force Mel to do it. This will be something that it's not fair to make anyone do, so I will do the job. It's one of those things. So I don't think we're going to get the refund. We will make sure that all customers who bought the set get the set, which is great. We'll probably not have any extras, which means that everything we invested into the set, everything that we paid as a royalty for all of the sets, is going to make a big loss. So, yeah, it's just one of those things. It's just going to be crap. It's just utter shit. I'm frustrated to all hell with it. So anyway, it is what it is. So that's going to take a couple of weeks to get through. I hope by mid-February it'll be done and we'll ship out the sets. Realistically, it's not going to be that. I know it's not, because I'm going to dedicate like 2 hours a day to it, and I reckon it's probably about 40 hours work. So if I do for 2 hours a day, I'll get really angry and upset. So I'm going to do it at the start of the day so I get it out of the way and done. 2 hours a day, 5 days a week, and I think it's going to take 3 or 4 weeks. But we'll start that this week and we'll see how we get on. We'll get that. That's the only thing left from the last shipment to do. Next shipment is still en route. It's due to hit port on the 5th of March, currently. It's been delayed from the 27th of February to the 5th of March. It's been delayed by about a week. Apparently where the boat was sailing, it had to dock and has been delayed by a week. So we've got that happening. We've pretty much prepped for all that. It's not a huge one. It's mostly easy stuff to do, like not massive, like things we have to pack loads of bits for and stuff like that. It's mainly QK boards and Neo boards, which are pretty quick to turn around here. And that means that the other big thing we'll be doing in that gap between now and when that arrives is handling the Protozoa stock. So we have a ton of Protozoa desk mats. I have a list of stuff I need to put live for the Protozoa desk mats, and then the other thing, once we've cracked on with in-stock orders from over the weekend tomorrow, Mel and I are going to start going through all of the boxes from Protozoa for the other stuff that isn't desk mats, because we had 600 or 700 desk mats to do. So stuff like keyboards and artisans and key sets and all of the other stuff that they had in stock, and we're going to kind of like document it all, get it all on the shelves, add it to our product map of like what's on which shelf and where it is in the workshop, and then we can start to create the product listings. So we're probably going to start creating the product listings a week tomorrow. That's my hope. And then we'll have them done by mid to late Feb, and we can just do one big drop of all the Protozoa stuff in stock. It's like a mass. It's basically like starting from scratch, like starting the whole thing from scratch, like a business like this from scratch, and just starting with a load of stock. It's such a big thing to do, but we will get through it. We'll get through it. Right. Nearly everything. SL Cypher is such a shame. I was really looking forward to it. Yeah, like the people who bought the set will get the set, and we'll make sure they get the best possible quality we can send them. I don't know if there'll be any leftovers after that. I'm gonna assume not. Manu, so tired of these things. Me too, man. Me too. Like the amount of spreadsheets I have open in a browser window over on this side of my screen, for stuff that's just been fucked up by other people. I have a spreadsheet for Lava, I have a spreadsheet open for Nerve, I have a spreadsheet open for SL Cypher, I have a spreadsheet open for some old Noxery things. Not that we were involved in selling them, but because someone sent some stuff to me and asked me to take a look at it, and it's like, Not really sure I should be, but anyway. There's just like a million things. There's a spreadsheet that isn't open actually, but I do need to open it for MKC stuff because MKC left us with nearly 100 grand's worth of stuff missing. Yeah, it's just crap. Alvi, I don't know how you do this job. I lose my marbles on day one. Dude, I don't think I ever have had any marbles. It is just obscene. And it's never getting any easier. We've got people trying to breach our contracts. We've got, like, it just doesn't stop. Like, people just messing up and send, you know, stuff out to us that's unfinished. It's a real frustrating time right now. Like, yeah, it's a real frustrating time. And to like then, you know, make next to nothing doing this. Like, I don't make a good living doing this. Like, it's not like I'm making bank or anything. It's frustrating. I'd send the spares back to the man you take to a piece of wood or something, spelling out a rude message. Maybe. Anyone get nervous knowing that Jay has no backup to a single written sheet of stock details? The reason why this is written, this is only for Protozoa desk mats. That's all it's for. It's for Protozoa desk mats. And the reason why this is written is because I was here typing into a spreadsheet. So it's not just here. I can throw this away if I need to. It's just in my pile of like to-do stuff. But it is on a spreadsheet. Don't worry. Have you heard anything about KCH War Maiden? We're waiting for an invoice at the moment. I'm not sure what's going on with that. Hopefully you're getting something for the Protozoa work you're doing. I probably can't discuss like things like that, Trojan. There's some contractual stuff that I'm probably not. It probably isn't good to share. So yeah. Try the Nationwide Intermediaries website for some informed mortgage details. It provides the guidelines for borrowing and the broker-facing calculators in a public-facing site. Thank you, Mr. Superhands. Can you DM me a link to that, and I will have a look at it. The spreadsheets gives me shivers about my own work. It's very similar. How did you bring Barclays down to its knees? Nothing to do with me. I do know some people in the industry still, so I was kind of like a bit aware of things that were going on. And I also had a friend who was supposed to complete their house purchase last week on the day when the whole Barclays system went down. They're currently homeless and living in a hotel, and they were the deal that broke like a 5-house chain. They're not feeling great at the minute because everyone was pointing fingers at them, and of course it was a Barclays issue. So yeah. What was the answer to the code in this week's blog post? So for those of you who didn't see this, I dropped like a little bit of a can you crack the code thing on Instagram, just to see if anyone would try a little bit of a challenge. And basically there was like a little loop of stuff to go through. There was on a blog post that I posted midweek, there was kind of like some garbled text at the bottom, some encoded text at the bottom in like a white font, so you could barely see it on the screen. And I kind of put like, can you crack the code in the banner on the website, took a screenshot of the red banner, posted it on Instagram, and just wondered if anyone would have a go. A couple of people did. 5 people completed it successfully. It was a little bit, not an ARG, but that kind of thing. Effectively the text was just encoded using a Vignair cipher, or Vignair, I don't know how to pronounce it, which is just kind of like a multiple substitution cipher. It's quite a cool thing. And then in the blog post itself, the word Vignair, there was italic letters throughout the blog post that spelt out that you needed to apply a Vignair cipher to it. And each of the letters that were italicized were in order throughout the blog post, and whichever paragraph they were in, the first letter of that paragraph was the key that you needed to enter to undo the multiple cipher using that type of code. Any online code checker would have been able to decode it, and that basically translated the message for you. So there's a few different steps. 1, find the blog post. 2, find the italics. 3, make a little bit of a mental leap that the first letter of each paragraph where the letters were italicized for the encoding type was the key, or try some other things for the key, and then you are rewarded with a 40% off anything in stock discount code for 5 people. So for the first 5 people to use it, 5 people did use the code successfully. 5 people have had their stock items shipped and got a nice discount on it. And then there was kind of like, just as like some to help like people out, there was like, because people go to our updates for Notion, there was an update underneath SL cipher, because it was a cipher that said so it had like some little clues on it, and then it had like an automated kind of like there are 4 now stand where 5 once stood, 3 now stand where 4 once stood, as the codes were redeemed. So it was just a little bit of fun. It took about 10-15 minutes to set it up. So yeah, it was just fun. I think we might do something a little bit bigger for something that's coming soon that we're probably going to announce in the next couple of weeks as well. So yeah. I'm assuming all these things you're having to deal with is affecting the timeline for your own boards. Yes, it is. Do a sleepover at PT for SL Cypher community sorting effort. That sounds like a phenomenal idea. I'd love to do it. Appreciate your dedication and hard work. Thank you. I don't believe I work any harder than you guys do, but you guys just get to see what I do and I don't see what you do. So yeah. Jay getting fucked by more people. Yeah. Is that where the marbles that we race with come from? maybe Alvy, maybe. You guys all appreciate it. Thank you guys. I appreciate you guys too. Was the key set perhaps rushed to try and get in front of the Trump tariffs? No, it was actually delayed, Anarchy. Like, it happened months after it should have done. It was quite significantly delayed. Imagine if Lubed had a spreadsheet. Yeah, I don't know. Speaking of Protozoa, how is the PAL coming? Random Keebs, I have no idea. So we're not actually involved in a project management side of their production of stuff. All we're doing is handling fulfillment. We're basically just a glorified fulfillment company for any of the outstanding group buys. So how it worked for Cam Bouquet and Cam Istri is they arrived with us last week, in fact just over 2 weeks ago, and then as soon as Ecto sent us the shipping details, so it was just a list of items, a list of the customer's name and address, where to send it to, and that was it. We would pack it, label it, ship it, job done. That's all we're doing for Protozoa's group buy stuff. For in-stock stuff, we'll be listing it on the website, but it's still technically their stock, and then we'll sell it on their behalf and ship it on their behalf. So yeah, that's all it is. It's really simple. Barclay's software update went wrong as usual, I presume. Someone was playing in production. Cycle 8 on the next shipment. It is, yes. Everything's done on the cheap these days. It is, yeah. Instead of having 50% overhead, it's like the bare minimum, yeah. Snicket, good evening, good sir. Wouldn't have even come close to solving that. I thought it was a pretty simple, like, ARG. It was nothing on the kind of level of, like, Cicada or anything like that. It was a case of find the blog post, find the encoded text, scan the blog post for, you know, changes or whatever, realize that some letters are italics, lay out the italic letters. What does that tell you? Oh, it's a type of cipher. Find the key. Yeah, I don't think it was particularly difficult. Looking at your GMK Modern Ink listing, does it have a yellowing problem over time because of it being a WS2 set? Yeah, so all plastics yellow, all white plastics yellow, sorry, and beige plastics yellow as well. The level of how much they yellow is determined by UV exposure. They won't yellow if they're not exposed to UV. Old WS2 had about 250 direct sunlight hours before it would yellow, and that's present in GMK Modern Ink. It's present in Bleached. It's present in Delta Round 1 and a few other sets. Delta Round 2 has a new version of WS2. It's a slightly different code. I can't remember off the top of my head, and effectively that doubles the UV lifetime exposure, and that's about the limit of what you can get with a true white plastic. Like no matter how long. You know, there's only so many chemicals you can put into the plastic to make it stop yellowing. So at some point it will yellow, and I think it's about 400 hours, something like that, maybe 500 hours now, and that is literally the chemical limit of what the technology has. So all WS2 sets or the new variant of WS2 will eventually yellow. Just keep it out of the sun, keep it out of bright lights. Don't have, like I have streaming lights here, don't have that kind of stuff on them. Cover it up when you're not using it. Simple things like that. A PT60 is coming in anytime soon. We'll be ordering some after Chinese New Year, yeah. Are there going to be extras for Zoom 65 V3 parts and add-ons? Everything we have is now listed on the website. WS3 too, that's it, yeah. But there's only so much you can do with, like, yellowing when it comes to white plastics. You can't, like, make it last forever. It's not like paints where you can put different chemicals in because it's going to dry out. If you put too much chemicals in the plastic, it becomes either crumbly and falls apart, or it becomes flaky, or it loses its rigidity and it becomes soft and gummy, or it becomes malleable over time. There's only so much you can do with it, and the limit of the technology, I think, is about 500 hours now. Whereas in the old sets, it was about 200 hours of exposure. I have a set of bleach that's been in a tub back here, which doesn't get much sunlight. It hasn't yellowed at all, and it's been in that tub for 3 years, something like that. So your mileage may vary. Usually it's like boards that are in direct view of a window or something like that. But yeah, or key sets, sorry, not boards. But yeah, most things that are white will yellow over time. Even car paint. If you look at car paint, we have a Tesla that's 4 years old. And if you look at the bumper where the paint's on plastic versus the tailgate where the paint's on metal, there's a slight difference in colour now. Right. Okay, so we talked about PT News. Let's give you guys a quick rundown of the website because there's a few things gone live on there that you guys might be interested in. So is that going to work? It is. Okay, so first thing to show you. Oh, not that. It was already on it. Go back. Go back. There we go. So QK Neo orders, if you're looking for the February batch, we're going to run a batch basically every month, so you'll always be able to order, apart from like 6 or 7 hours when we're switching between at the end of a month, you'll always be able to order any of the QK and Neo products. This page is here. Jellymaster has been really, really kind and has been working with me to make some code to make this laid out a little bit better. So in the next couple of days or a week or so, this will become much easier to browse. But all of the Neo and QK products are in basically a permanent rolling pre-order, and we constantly have boards on order, so you can order it and then we'll try and ship it as soon as possible.
Tasty, tasty.
Other things to call out is Blue Alert is in stock. This arrived on Friday. I got all of the group buy items shipped out. It's now in stock on the website. You can buy Blue Alert. Everything's in stock. I think all of the kits are still available. Oh, the Hangul kit's sold out, but the Hangul kit was pretty cool, I'm afraid. But yeah, pretty much everything is available and in stock. Alex Sotos, thank you so much, dude, for the raid. I was catching your stream earlier on, watching you build the key cult, so thank you very much for being here, and welcome, everyone. So Blue Alert is now in stock, as well as KV2, and also the Loki 65. This is what we're going to be building today.
Incredible. This
was a really cool board when it came out, and sadly, it took a long time for us to get the boards on hand due to Mexico going under halfway through the group buy. But it is now available in stock, and we'll be building one of those after we finish the Optica, all being well. And then the other thing to call out as well is if you're into key cults, the 1800 is up for sale, or if you're into the Snake R2 keyboard kit, we do have the pretty cool Burgundy edition, which is exclusive to prototypists. So we built one of these on a stream a couple of weeks ago. Harry GVB now has that board. So yeah, loads of other things in group buy as well. So yeah, that's that. Right. Okay. Mr. Pokemon Kid, good evening, sir. I hope you're doing well. Loki 65 is cool AF. Love mine. Yeah, it's a great board. Will you be building the S100 at any time? I don't know. Manu, am I getting an S100 to build? Let's ask Manu. Manu will know. I may not know. Good to see the Alex Otos crew though joining. Right, let's get the Optica 60 ready because we're going to be building that. I think my mouse is charged now. There we go. Any update on the VK012? Yeah, the group buy will be live tomorrow. We got the assets this morning, so I'll create the product page tomorrow. So yeah. Right, okay, so Optica is the board we're going to build today, and this is how it comes packaged. Nice box with some pretty cool design on it. Manufactured by Kazawa, designed by Penguin. You made that latte art? Yeah, I own a coffee company, so I have to be like I've been drinking it now, so it's kind of gone. But yeah, I have a coffee company, so I should be good at making latte art. Yeah, so this is the Optica boxing. It doesn't come with a carry case inside, but it does come with the board. Now we did look at this on stream a couple of weeks ago when we unboxed it. So the board comes in here. It was packaged in some clear plastic wrap. You have to excuse fingerprints because I've got fingerprints all over this lovely PVD. You can see the lights there and the fingerprints. Let's give that a quick wipe over because I do have to send this back. This isn't going to get all the marks off. I need some spray or something, but there you go. We'll get those marks off later on. Oh, camera view, camera shot. There we go. Light view. And it has this beautiful side profile here, which has some pretty cool features. You'll see that there's this like hip here. This is pretty cool because on the top of the case, you'll see that there is a chamfer that runs all the way across the top of the edge of the case. And that chamfer becomes that hip. You can see here the chamfer runs around the corner and then comes down and becomes this curve across the middle here. So it's just this super cool little hip, and then it hides the green part in here, which is the base, so this kind of green part here, and then it has the stainless steel weight, which becomes a foot effectively for the rear of the board. Super cool design, super sleek. I don't actually know how this comes apart. Oh, I do. So this it actually uses a bion bolt style system with screws on a 45-degree angle. It's almost impossible to get these in focus. I swear there is screws in there, and they go at a 45-degree angle through the case and hold the two parts together. So, first jobs first, let's take that apart. Need to buy more of your coffee? Yep, jaysroaststory.co.uk. You can buy a fiction blend, which is what I'm drinking right now, but there are other coffees available as well. Love the desk pad, thank you. This is actually one of the Protozoa desk mats. It'll be in stock in a couple of weeks' time. Music playing is very appropriate for this part of the stream. It sounds like a little bit Tubular Bells. It's actually a playlist called Stream Beats by Harris Heller. And it's basically just lo-fi, royalty-free music designed for streaming too. So, yeah. Is there going to be any Pangea Mini extras on PT? Yes, not many, but there will be a few, yes. Design is so flowy and nice. It is. Like this whole hip here, it's just super cool. It's just super cool. It's so nice. So nice. Thank you, Mr. Jellymaster, for the link to the coffee store. Right, let's see which size screwdriver I need here. I think it's going to be this one. Is it even smaller than that? It is. There we go. So as you can see, they got like a 45-degree angle to the screws. If there's a Dolce R5 run, we will try and be involved in it. If you do want Dolce in stock, NT New Dolce is in stock right now as well. No, I didn't scratch it. This board is just super nice though. Wing keyless as well. Okay, let me just turn the heating off. It's a little bit warm in here now. It was really cold when I got to the workshop, but it has warmed up nicely. Oh, for the R0 of Dolce? Yeah, Tanghouse was talking to me about that the other day. It's a pretty cool idea. I don't like to tell designers that things are really good ideas.
Incredible.
Just in case the community then lambasts it and says it's terrible. But I was pretty happy when he showed me the R0 kits and said I'm going to do an IC. I was pretty excited to hear that. Will Trump's tariffs affect your pricing of items? No. We're not in the US, so we're not affected by them. Will it affect customers buying from us to the US? I don't think so, because we're not China. We're not. So if you buy from us and we ship it to the US, I think it'll be fine as well. But yeah, we're not affected by the Trump tariffs. Now, I did write a blog post on this as well a little while ago about the Trump tariffs. When he first said during his election run that he was going to put a 60% tariff on, like I wrote like a blog post about it because there's some really interesting things that come along with that. You can go find it on the Prototypist blog post. Scroll down to the bottom, click blog post in the footer on the website, and you can find it in there. But no, it won't affect our pricing. But what I am worried about is the fact that if it affects the US pricing, the prices will either raise so much that people don't buy products, or they'll just kill products off because we just know it won't make sense. I was chatting to Mike at Novel Keys about this earlier on. The bigger worry for me is it won't affect our pricing, but what it might do is it might affect the MOQ being made or being hit for any particular project worldwide, where the manufacturing happens in China. And the reason for that is because the US is generally the biggest part of MOQ. So sales in the US for X keyboard, and let's say, I don't know, let's say it's the Optica, let's say we have to make 200 of them to hit MOQ across around the world. You might sell, 50 in Europe, 50 in China, 50 in the UK, and you'll sell 150 in the US. And that means that the US market tends to carry the bulk of any particular product. Like usually we do about between 10 and 30% of the US sales here in the UK, depending on the project, depending on whether people like it or not. But if they sell 100, we can expect to sell between 10 and 30 here in the UK. That's how big of a difference it is. And if the US market just doesn't respond better to increased prices, or sales drop because of increased prices, or projects don't happen because of increased project prices in the US, then hitting MOQ for all the rest of the vendors will become a worry. Now, some things it doesn't affect, like at the moment, there's no EU tariff as far as I'm aware, so things like GMK sets will be fine. It's only where production takes place in China. So, we'll see. We'll see. Not affected by the tariffs yet. Not yet. Not yet. I suppose what I mean is if you have any insider information about whether or not there will be a Dolch R5 run this year. If I had insider information, I wouldn't be able to tell you. Because it'd be insider information, right? Even if you sell a keyboard produced in China to a US customer. So I don't know. I'll need to look at the like how we export things, but it depends on what we do, because usually when a keyboard kits come from China, like it comes in a kit and we assemble it. So we assemble that kit. So it might be that under the fact that we are assembling the kit, we can get around the tariffs that way, or we can do something else. I don't know. I need to look into it. But like the sales from us to the US aren't like massive. We sell quite a bit to the US. There's a lot of US customers that use us for whatever reason, whether we've the only people who've got something in stock, or they just want to support prototypist or whatever. But most of the time when we get stuff, we're adding a service to it by adding it and packing it and stuff like that. So I don't know is the honest answer. It's something I'd have to look at. But either way, like the way that the tariffs are being charged and stuff like that is kind of different. So we'll see. Is there any chance you'll be getting other keycut boards? Yeah, we're working with Novel Keys to bring other ones as well. So we'll see how that happens. He's talking about tariffing. I don't think it's been announced yet, or if it's been confirmed that it will. Okay, very badly. We've treated them very badly. Well, we'll see. The removal of the $800 threshold will hit US customers hard. Yeah, they haven't been expecting that, so yeah. Are there times when items are manufactured in China, then sent to the US, then shipped to you, or does it generally come straight here from China? It always comes straight here first. There is very, very few times it's ever gone to the US first. There's been a couple of examples of that, mainly with Novel Keys stuff. So the Spellbook sets and the Spellbook desk mats, they all got shipped to Novel Keys first, and then we bought them off them wholesale as an in-stock item. But 90% of the time, if we're selling it on a pre-order or group buy basis, in fact 99% of the time, they'll approach us before they've manufactured and said, Jay, do you want some of this? And I'll say yes, we'll have X, and then that will go to my warehouse in China, and then I'll ship from my warehouse in China to my warehouse here where I am right now. So yeah. Wish Optica had a hot swap ISO socket like Eden does. Yeah, sadly it doesn't offer that. What, $800 threshold? So in the US right now, if you import goods into the US, you don't pay any import duties until it hits $800. Once the value of the product is over $800, including services, so including the shipping cost as well. So if you buy something from, say, me, and it's valued at $700 plus $100 in shipping, once it hits the $800 mark, then you are responsible in the US for paying import taxes, basically sales tax, on the items that you're importing when the value is over $800, and that varies by state and by product, depending on the HS code, the commodity code that's used to describe the product when it's being shipped. In the UK, it's due on everything, so we've never had this $800 leeway. A lot of people have this misconception that here in the UK we don't pay import fees if it's under 135 quid, which is absolutely not true. That is 100% not true. In the UK, import duties are split into three camps. The first camp is VAT. That's due on absolutely everything, whether it's valued under 135 or over 135 pounds. There is duty, which is slightly different and isn't due on every product. Depends on the product how much duty is due, and that can be between 0% and 50%, depending on the product. And that's only due on items over £135. And then the third item is the shipping companies will charge a small fee between £8 and £15. I think FedEx is £15 now, Royal Mail is £8 now, a couple of others are £12 in between, basically for handling your import duties for you. Now, in terms of the VAT element, if it's under £135, the seller, no matter where they are in the world, so let's say Novel Keys in the US, if you're in the UK and you buy something under £135 in value from Novel Keys, including shipping, then technically, legally, Novel Keys is supposed to claim the VAT from the customer at the time of sale. They're supposed to then pay the UK government that VAT every quarter, and also have a member of their team in the UK to be able to deal with that. And in the EU as well, you're supposed to have it in the EU. So we have, for example, a representative in the EU, hi Manu, to enable us to ship to the EU as well. Now, if it's over £135, then that VAT should be charged to you at the import process. So the vendor should not collect it, but it would then be billed to you at the time it hits customs. So yeah, a lot of people misunderstand that, and a lot of people still buy stuff under £135 or over £135 and don't get import fees, and that's just luck. It's just luck. It's not that that's how it's supposed to be or anything else. The law is how I stated a minute ago. So yeah. There used to be a threshold for EU, but no longer. Yeah. Parcel Force was £12. Yeah. Right, okay, so we've taken the top case off, and we've had a rant about taxes. Let's take a look inside. So, nice milling. This is really nicely milled on the inside. There's an interesting mill line actually here. The camera is not going to pick this up. I'm certain that the camera is not going to pick it up. But on this face here, you can see the tool path. I don't know if you can see that. See the tool path there and there. There's two like horizontal lines that run through the part. Now, that's on the inside bezel. I suspect that that's visible all the way around, and it's just from a certain tool as they've passed. Yeah, so that goes all the way around the inside. And it's on the second face as well. So it's on this face and it's on this face. Let's see if I can show you that again. It's on this face and on this face, but it's only on the inside. It's not visible. It's certainly not going to be visible when keycaps are on. But the actual milling on the outside, the finish, the bead blasting on this is absolutely phenomenal. Like the way that this has been bead blasted, and it's to protect this.
Incredible.
To protect the integrity of how this looks, the bead blasting on the outside. I suspect what they've done is they've concentrated the bead blasting on the outside and allowed there to be a slight imperfection on the inside, just to protect how nice this is, because this is some stunning work here. This is really, really nicely milled, and it is really, really evenly bead blasted. Like a lot of the time, you look at boards, you can see patch in how the anodizing is done. Like even on my key cut here, on my TGR, there's like patches in the way the bead blasting's been done, but this is really nice. I suspect this has been tumbled rather than bead blasted. A lot of the times you just get it put in a cabinet and they kind of blast it to sandblast the edges and whatever else to whatever grit they've picked up. The more expensive boards, they tend to actually put it in like a tumbler, where it sits in like a grit, which is it almost looks like cement. It's that type of gritty type of material, and then it just rolls round in that tumbler into that grit, and the grit slowly polishes it. I suspect that that's how this has been done, just to protect the integrity of it. Because if you'd bead blasted this, you'd have lost this detail in here. Would have been lost a lot easier. Like the line would have petered out here because it's very flush here. You can barely feel that. There's barely a change in the texture, but the line's still present. This hip's still present. Very interesting. Yeah, so you can feel the difference in texture on the second piece. This is not the same texture. This is definitely smoother. Not by much, but it is noticeable. So yeah. Okay, right, next job. Take a look at the other parts that we've got. So we have gasket here. Any plans to stock GMK white on black and classic beige with UK ISO kits? Yes, I've already had a chat with GMK about stocking those. I haven't heard the answer yet. I'm waiting back to hear from them. I suspect we will be able to, I just don't know when. So there's the O-ring for the mount. Here is the gasket strips, which we'll install in a second. So these are little gasket strips, and they're injection molded, so they have like a T-slot shape to them, and that's so that they can be inserted into the board. Let me show you how that works. So on the base here, you'll see that there is the slot here, milled. A hair inside the board, yeah. There's a slot there that's milled, and this will just click into that effectively. It'll be like pressure fit in. Just like so. Let's put the rest of those in. The Optica got into the group by a few days ago for the monocolor black. Nice. It's a great board. Looks like a shadow, but yeah, a reflection, but very faint. Yeah. I mean, you're not going to notice it once the board's built, but I suspect that the reason that's there is because more attention's being paid on the external parts of the board. And I'm just going to put the gaskets into this groove on here as well. As I say, these are friction fit using that little T slot. Oops. I'm completely mispressing that one into the board. A bit like trying to look up a sandwich bag. You know those little Ziploc bags? It's basically like putting those together. I'm pretty sure I remember someone using Ziploc bags cut up as a budget gasket mount for some really jank keyboard about 10 years ago. Maybe not 10 years ago, maybe like 2017, something like that. There we go. I should pop that back on there for now. Okay. We'll do the daughter board at the end. Plate is aluminium, black aluminium. This is ANSI hot swap only is the kit that I've been sent. That's how we're building it. Can you recommend where to get the Milmax socket things? Can solder fine and just like hot swap for changing a laziness? A couple of vendors sell them, but you can get them from Mouser as well. Some Bazookas recommended Mouser as well. Like the F1 mount, but without the noodle of O-ring. Yeah, so the O-ring has like a T shape to it.
Incredible.
And it sits in nicely. Hot swap PCB. Which reminds me, I have the rest of my stabies from last week's build here. We're going to have to build this 7U, so I'm going to need to get another wire. Let's do that now. See if we can dig a black 7U wire out of my stabilizer collection. Hopefully we have one. Is that going to be a 7U? Yes, there we go. There we go. T-slot looks much easier if they stay put. Yeah, they do stay put once you've got them in place, yeah. Right, let's get on with lubing these stabilizers now. Can you explain the traffic light that's sitting next to your machine? Coffee machine in the PT warehouse? Yeah, it's a traffic light. traffic light. It's for guiding traffic. I'm really not sure what more else I can tell you about that. The stab graveyard. Yeah. It's what years of building thousands of boards does to you. Jay, you need to sell individual 7U wires. I have a huge collection of stabs from leftovers, and usually I just need a 7U. We could do that. One thing I've been thinking about doing is offering like a stab lubing service. Like, would you guys pay like, I don't know, like 8 quid extra for the stabs to come lubed? Like you buy a set of, I don't know, like a set of stabs. Instead of coming in the box like this, they'll come in a baggie all pre-lubed. Would you guys be interested in that? That's something we should do or not? I don't know. Let me know. Let me know what you think. Pay extra for it? Okay. Okay. Because like it doesn't take long, and we could just do them in advance on like a quiet day. Okay. But what's it doing in the warehouse? The traffic light? So for those of you who don't know, my big hobby outside keyboards is collecting classic cars. I've been collecting classic cars for about 23 years now. I have a few, and as part of that, I've ended up with a ton of not just car parts, but things like old dealership signs and road signs and traffic cones and all sorts of stuff. And one of the things happens to be a traffic light. Now it does work. It's not always on. In fact, it's rarely on, to be honest with you. The original plan 2 years ago when we moved into here was to mount it onto the mezzanine and have it kind of like shine down over the workshop, but I never got around to it, and there's probably not much point given the fact we'll be out of here in 10-12 months. So maybe it'll go in my house when we moved house. But yeah, like it's just one of those things that I've acquired. There's no real reason for me to have it, no real reason for me to not have it. But I spent a whole day about a year ago. I had a day off work, maybe even longer than maybe 2 years ago now, and I rewired the whole thing and created like a little controller board, which is now controlled by an Arduino. And I wrote some code so that I can have the traffic lights fluctuate in different patterns. So there's one where like if the housing senses like a beat, it will flash the lights on like a scale, which looks terrible because there's only 3 lights, well 4 lights because it's in an L shape. There's one that actually follows like the correct traffic light procedure, so it goes red and amber off, and then green on, and then it goes green off, amber on, amber off, red on. And it does that just like based on a timer, which is roughly akin to what like a traffic signal would be for the changing from red to amber, red and amber to green, and then it stays on green for like 20 seconds and then flicks back through. And it has like a whole range of different ones as well, because different traffic lights in different parts of the world do different things. So whilst I was under the hood, like I just wrote like code that would do all of these different things. So there's one that will do the American system of like red and then green, and it just ignores the amber lamp in the center. There's ones where it follows like the pattern in Malaysia, which is red, amber, green flashing, amber, red, and all sorts of other different things. So yeah, like it has like 10 or 12 different functions, I think, that would be put into it. So it's one of those things. You need more 65% boards? Yeah. It's for guiding the traffic to the coffee machine at PT meetups, 100%. Just don't charge a $5 for each of them. Wait, what am I charging a $5 for, Super Hens? You guys would pay extra for lubing? Yeah, okay, we'll add that on and we'll see how it goes. I'll add that on after the stream tonight and we'll see how it goes for stabies, which we have in stock. And we have some Type Plus on the way as well, so we'll add the option for those as well. Right. You should add a function that tracks the status of cardboard mounting. Alright, so red when there's cardboard mounting, and then amber when there's a little bit of cardboard mounting, and then green when there's no cardboard mounting. Maybe. There is a lot of my first job in the morning when I get here is to sort that out, because there's a lot of it. Right, let's get some lubricant out. Why can't I find a brush? There it is. It's greasy. Don't charge a $5 for a single 7U stab. What should... If actually, no, you can buy the wires, Super Hands. We do have the wires in stock. We can get the Geon balanced wires. Actually, but ignore that. We might have sold out of them. We might have sold out of them. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what we would charge for a 7U stab. They probably cost us like, I don't know, $2 a wire or something. I don't know. You got to remember, there's time to pick it, there's time to pack it, there's an envelope that it needs to go in. You know, there's cost there. There's cost. It's not like it's not like it's for free. I like to think we've only ever charged fairly, Super Hands, for every product that we've ever sold. I don't think we've ever charged outrageous amounts or anything else. In fact, I think a lot of our pricing is probably too fair. But yeah, I get what you mean. I don't know. I think for lubing stabilizers, it'd be about £8 or something like that. Just basically for the cost of the lube. Throw a 7U stab on the floor and pick it up. That's your labor time. But it's right. Okay. Let's think about this. So if we get an order for a 7U stab, right? What is the process here? If we were going to document the process in old style project world, what would it be? So first of all, it would be print off the order sheet. So there's an order slip that needs printing off. That has cost and time to it. Then the order has to be picked. So we have to go and find the stabilizer wire and pick the item. Then it has to be packed. So it has to go in like a little envelope or in a box or whatever else it's going in with other items maybe or on its own. Then we have to seal it all up and make sure it's packed, and we take a photo of everything we do as well. So there's all of that kind of thing to do to it. Then once we've packed it, then we need to create the shipping label for it, which of course we have to spend time creating the label. That's maybe, 2-3 minutes per order. And then after that, there's labeling it up and putting it out for collection. So there's that cost as well. So, there's like a good amount of work in there. There's a good amount of work in there. I know, you hadn't triggered me. It's fun to talk about, though. Wait till we start doing Cerakoted stab wires. Then you'll be upset at the pricing, Super Hands. When I start to do Cerakoted ones with James at Salopian, and you can really theme your build with coloured stabilizers that have been Cerakoted, that's when you're really going to notice the costs. So because this is, well, I suppose we could O-ring mount this actually. We have put the other gaskets in, but we could O-ring mount it. I was going to build it with split backspace because I was going to O-ring mount it, but we put the other gaskets in now. So let's use the other gaskets, but we'll still do split backspace. And we'll split right shift as well, because that just makes sense for a 60%. Are you able to share details on what variants will be available for the Pangea Mini? I have no idea, Dancho. It will depend on QC, it'll depend on what we ordered, it'll depend on order cancellations, it'll depend on a million different things. So right now, and from memory, I have no idea what we will have in terms of colours and options, but there will be extras, that's all I can say. That's all I can guarantee right now. Because, like, I cannot retain that level of information in my head. That's an insane amount of lube to have in a container. Dude, I go through lube like you wouldn't believe, so yeah. Prince Skipper says, do you think a silicone coating would work well for stab wires? I really don't know much about stab materials. Yeah, so I mean, all we're doing is putting like a lot of greases are silicone based. Incredible. And it used to be that everyone used like a dielectric silicone grease for stabilizer wires until more advanced lubricants came about. So yeah, I think absolutely there's it could work. I've never tried it. and I think the issue would be getting it on thin enough. But yeah, I see no reason why you couldn't do that. Right, okay, so I've done all of the wires. I'm just going to use what I've got left on the brush, just do a really fine coat on the housings. These are Stabies V2.2, they don't need much work at all. Just a light coating basically. So I'm just going to very thin coat on the sliders just to make sure that we're not gumming anything up and that everything can move nicely. Could the stab housings be Cerakoted as well? Sure, why not? I was joking about that. Like, that was like a complete meme. Today I'll let you take a photo of everything. Yeah, about 3.5, 4 years ago, there was a Reddit post. And on that Reddit post was someone who had ordered from us and basically advertised that they'd messaged me and said X item wasn't included, and I just sent them a replacement because I had no proof otherwise. And what the post was designed to do was to basically say, oh, if you order from Jay, he will send you a replacement if you tell him it wasn't in the box or it wasn't in the package. And after that, we had something like 30 orders in a week where people would say, oh, I ordered this from you, Jay, and it wasn't in the box. And I knew I'd not made that many mistakes. Like, I'm only human. We do make mistakes. Everyone does. But, not that many mistakes, not 30 mistakes in a week. So, this wasn't long after Mel started working here. And because of that, we implemented a policy where we just photographed every order. And that has stuck through until now. So every single order we photograph. And then if a customer claims we've missed something, we can go and check. And if we did miss it, great, we can send out a replacement straight away. That's how we do it. And 99% of the time that works really, really well. Is that too small? I think it is. Yeah, 99% of the time it works really, really well. We can see what we've done or what we haven't done for each customer. Sometimes customers still aren't happy. They're like, well, I definitely didn't get it. And it's like, well, we sent it. Here's a picture of proof. And then usually what happens is they find it in the packaging somewhere. So yeah, like, we started to do that just to protect ourselves. And I think the point of the Reddit post was, to say, oh, I didn't get something, but Jay was really good and replaced it, which you shouldn't need to post on Reddit anyway, because that should be the bare minimum that we do. But I think basically people took that as an opportunity for free reign to try and claim back stuff that they had received, and say that they hadn't received it. So yeah. Matching stabs is a step too far. I would be willing to pay for lube stabs if it means I could use them out of the box. Yeah, I mean, you just need to screw them in effectively. They'd come built and lubed. So basically what I've done here, up until the point of screwing them into the keyboard. So you just need to put them into the keyboard yourself. That'd be it. Yeah, we could definitely offer that sort of service, I think. Is lubing stabs something Jay would do? Yeah, it'd just be me that did it. Like, I'd do it like over a morning coffee or something like that. Oh man, this screw is screwy. There we go. Assuming normalizers ever get made, would PT ever stock them or potentially work on some competition? I don't like the term competition in keyboards. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, we're all working together for cool input devices, right? In terms of would we ever do our own stabilizer, I've kind of had a sort of idea in the back of my head for the past 3 or 4 years. We talked about it on Top Crack in like 2018, 2019, and the idea is basically to use a compliant mechanism to make stabilizers. Like, I've kind of got an idea for how it could work. I've just never had the time to sit down and figure all the details out, test it out in like a CAD program, and then print some models off and stuff like that. Like, I've had the idea, I've just never got far enough to test it out. But I think it has legs, and it'd be a very different solution to Neubauer's. But That's a case of if I ever have time to take a look at it. It's not high on my priority list. There's nothing wrong with stabilizers today that need that kind of level of change, and you're kind of bound by, well, it has to fit within the current mechanics as well, so it has to fit within the current MX style PCBs. I don't know, we'd see. Would we stock Neubauers? Yeah, probably. Like, if there's a market for them, we'll stock them, right? Right, okay.
Incredible.
Next job, hopefully a mod is watching, because you guys now need to pick which switches you're going to use. So I have 3 choices for you. These are all from my box of leftover switches. We have alpacas. We have oil kings. And we have tungstens. So those are the 3 choices: alpacas, oil kings, or tungstens. Hopefully a mod will be able to get a poll up soon. You guys will be able to pick which ones you want. Thank you for whoever did that as a mod. The vote is now up. You can vote for whatever you would like to see. Do you add someone who falsely claimed something was missing to a deny list? No, we don't. We do have like a deny list. Usually it's for people who've done spurious chargebacks and things like that. So the plate is aluminium. It's the only plate that came with the kit. It's aluminium. We have like people who, so we had one customer in Canada. He ordered, in a sale of ours, he ordered £3,500 worth of gear, and didn't look dodgy at all. Like, he'd bought from us before. It was a ton of different things. There was key sets, there was keyboards, there was all sorts of stuff in there. He'd had like 20 orders with us before, something like that. So we packed it all up, we shipped it all off, he received it. 6 weeks later, charge back, item faulty. And it's like, dude, what? Message him, no response. Message him again, no response. We sent the proof across to the bank that we had photographs, like our packing photos showing everything was there. We sent a copy of our policy saying this is what we would do if someone reached out to us to say something was faulty. We had no idea which part was faulty. Why was the claim for the whole order when it was only claimed as partly faulty? We never got, we lost the chargeback appeal. The bank decided in the customer's favor, and we got a fine for that as well. I think it was like $15 fine or whatever. That person went on a blacklist. They've never been allowed to order from us again. You know, it, like, stuff like that does happen, you know, and it's crap, because then like we not only lost out on the cash went back to the customer, but we'd also lost out on the fine, and we also lost out on the product. So we lost 3 times. We effectively lost like double the cost of everything. It was heartbreaking. Like, when that happened, it's like, dude,
incredible.
But yeah. So we do have like a deny list. Those are automated. Those people will find out very quickly because their order will be cancelled within minutes of them making it on the store. We can't deny them making the order because of how Shopify works, but what we can do is we can set up automated rules where if a customer with X name or Y name or with X card number or whatever, or address, whatever it is we want to pick on, whatever particular piece of information about them we want to pick, it will just automatically cancel the order and refund it. Now, we do lose out on that. We lose about 10% of the cost of the order through transactional fees. There's like a 3 to 5% processing fee that Shopify charges per transaction as like a payment processing fee, and they charge that again on refunds, which is bizarre. And then there's like a small cost as well for refunds. So we do lose between 8 and 10% of the transactional value. So if it was for £200, we'd probably lose something like 16 quid or something, but I'd rather do that than have customers who are taking advantage and doing chargebacks for products they've had. The worst part about it as well was I knew the guy's Discord name, and in one of the Canadian servers, all of the items that he charged back went up for sale. Every single one of them. No mention of them being dodgy or anything like that, but he then sold them on the aftermarket. I meant like a solid coating. You know how some spatulas are silicone, etc. I don't think that would work prints it'd be too, like, that type of silicone's too grippy, and you need the reason why we lube them is so they slide across each other fluidly. If you had something that was that type of silicone, it would be too grippy. Like if you think about like those pans that go in the like baking trays and whatever, they've got handles on them and stuff. They are quite grippy plastic against like your skin and against each other. If you were two of those spatulas together, they would be quite, you know, the friction coefficient would be quite high. I have 100% thought something was missing and then thought there's no way I'll miss that and rechecked that. Found them every single time. I mean, it happens, right? People miss stuff in packages. It gets tied up in the, you know, in the packaging or the brown paper that we use or whatever else it might be. These switches don't hold in this plate very well. Hopefully this is going to be okay. Hopefully the mass amount of switches will be strong enough to hold it together, but they're not holding particularly well. Maybe I need the plate for it. Hiding. Let's take these out and start at the bottom. You know, that feeling when you try and be organised and have all your tools in a tub and then it doesn't work. Right, let's start at the bottom and work our way up. I'm too honest, when you send me extra stuff once in 2023, I was like, do you want this back, mate? I mean, sometimes we make mistakes like that as well, you know, like we send too much of something or we send too little of something. Like that happens, right? You know, we're only human. Sometimes we'll misread something and it'll be the wrong desk. Might be like the right, you know, I don't know, key set that it relates to, but it'll be the wrong actual desk mat or something like that. It happens, you know, when we're only human. It happens roughly once in every 2,000 or 3,000 orders, you know, so a few times a month. But you know, it is what it is. We'll always put it right where we can. Like, you know, if we've messed up, we'll put it right. Why are people so dishonest these days? It's getting worse. I think people just find a loophole and realize they can exploit it and need value for themselves in some way, shape or form. I try not to hold it against people when they do things like that. Like, I get it. We've all struggled at times for money or whatever, so, you know, I kind of understand it, but... And no one bats an eyelid if you know, rip a few quid off of Amazon or something, but... Or if someone says, oh, I told Amazon I'd sent this back, but I didn't, or whatever, you know. Or Amazon sends you two of something, you just keep quiet, right? You know, I get that, but it does hurt. It does hurt. People have always been dishonest. You just hear about it more because of the internet. Yeah, absolutely. There is part of that effect as well. I think wealth inequality is also growing, so more people are struggling. That leads to more people to chance it. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. You could pay an engineering firm 20k to design you one. Design me one what? Like a deny list that that doesn't allow the transaction to go through? Yeah, I could, but like 20k, that's a lot of money. You know, I have better things I could spend 20k on right now. Let's go with stepped caps lock because stepped caps lock is best. They might be the last of the lube alpacas I did for you all that time ago. They are. That is exactly what they are, Matt. Yeah, they are the last of the lube alpacas from, I don't even know when it was. 2023? 2022? Alex, I just scammed you. Alex has never scammed me. In fact, I think I owe Alex a drink because he bought me a drink at a bar in West Virginia, and I said, oh, I'll get the next one, and he wasn't there when we got the next round in, so I technically owe him a drink. But he's a good guy. He's a good guy. Super denialist, that guy. Yeah. Like, he's not the only one. He's just the first one that jumps to mind. There's a lot of stories like that, and all vendors will have those kind of stories as well. How do you resist the temptation to get revenge when you have access to the name and address? So that's called the Data Protection Act, and tells me very, very succinctly what I can and can't do with people's information, whether they're in the UK or otherwise. And we have to abide by that, unfortunately. Well, I think it's fortunate, really. Oh no, messages have been deleted. Seems scummy for shop to not allow orders to be blocked based on the customer, but then charge fees on cancellations. Yeah, so it's a weird one because it's not technically Shopify that's charging the fees. It's technically the payment provider, which is just through Shopify's platform. So Shopify themselves don't charge a fee, but the payment providers do. Imagine how many vendors he's done that to. Well, vendors can't legally share information like that, so I would not know. So he double bubbled, yeah, and I double lost. Assuming don't run into any scenarios where there's people with the same name as someone on the deny list. No, we have more than one check for the deny list, so it's not just name. We've never had an issue with it. I mean, the chances of it happening are slim anyway. You know, two people having the same name and it coming up to a deny list. But then there's other metrics that we put in there as well. So it's like address and last 4 digits of card used, and there's a few other bits and pieces as well that we use for information like that. What do I think of the Crush 65? It's a great board. It's a great board. I'm really sad that we sold out of it. I think we sold out of it in stock. I'd have to double check, but I was super, super excited with them. I thought they were great, and they came out really, really well. Also manufactured the same factory as these. Okay, so that's most of the switches in now. I'm just going to do split right shift, and then we'll do the bottom row. There we go. I think that's right for 1.5, 1, 1.5, 7, 1.5, 1, 1.5. I think that's right. We'll find out. I got the wrong plate from you recently, and Mel was straight on it. Awesome service always. Yeah, Mel's really good. She works hard, and she cracks through a lot of stuff like that. Yeah. Reminds me, Jay, sorry to muck you around on my Mr. Taxi order. Decided to keep the London one in the end. Very nice board. Yeah, the Mr. Taxis were great. I was going to, if they'd still been around at the end of last month, I was going to keep one, but they all went really quickly. 20k equals new stab design. 20k equals a lot of things. When I first ordered my first GMK set, I didn't know there was a tray underneath the first tray. I was like, oh, I'm missing a ton of geese, and message you asking about it. Icy Prisoner, don't worry, you are not the only one. Multiple people have done that. Multiple people a week do that. So I would not worry about it. I would not worry at all about that. A lot of people miss the second tray of keycaps, and they go, Jay, where's the rest of my keycaps? This is not right. I ordered a full base kit. I want a full base kit. Please refund me or send me out a full proper kit. Send me out the keys. I'm like, oh, have you checked the bottom tray? Oh, thanks, Jay. Yeah, that's where they were. It happens all the time. Oh, I forgot that there's screws now. We need screws for the door board. Right, let's take a look at the daughter board. To do that, we need to take off the weight at the bottom. So the daughter board comes through this little gap here, and that means we need to take these screws out for the foot weight. Let's take a look at that now. I'm an SWE and I'd build that for free if it's genuinely possible to do it in Shopify. I don't know if it is, I'm not sure, but if it is, message me. Reckon them from 2022, basically vintage now. I don't know when you did them for me, Matt. I think it's a couple of years ago, yeah. I was thinking like 3,000 or 4,000. Jay can't look up a customer to do a drive-by on them. No, can you imagine? Message wasn't bad. Mod is on one today. YouTube. Who was the mod? I didn't see. Message was that Mark Rober made a device that dispenses glitter when poach pirates take the package. He's an awesome engineer. Yeah, I quite like Mark Rober. He seems like a nice guy. He's definitely very interesting. Do you plan to have the Type Plus stabs soonish back in stock? Yes, the Type Plus stabs we have on order should ship to us after CNY, so maybe in the next week or two. I'll see if I can get some more Chris 65s if you guys like them. I'll see if there's any more available, because there might be. You have to include some postcards and GMK orders reminding people to check the underneath the tray first. So, I've actually had a conversation with GMK on this. I don't have a GMK set to hand. I do have another really cool set actually that we should show you after this. Maybe you'll pick it to go on the board. So I've had a chat with GMK about two things. One, do I have a GMK set to hand to show you guys? Let me see if I've got a GMK set lying around. Okay, so I don't, but I have an empty box, so this will do. So, the GMK trays are like this. Where have you gone? Here we are. So the GMK trays like this. Everyone opens the top part and sees that, but what everyone misses is the little finger hole that then gives you the second tray. So what I've suggested is that they just highlight this. All it needs is like a blob of marker. I don't have a marker to hand, but you know, basically just get a marker. Get a marker and you know just highlight it somehow. You could get like a big round bingo style marker and just highlight it in like red or something. That would work really, really well. The other thing that I've been suggesting to GMK for a long time now is part of the packaging. So I've kept this one because I really like the box. Like the front is really great for the designers to do all kinds of cool stuff like this one. And then you have like a defined standard on the side, which is like this, and the GMK sign and the CYLMT new logo. And then on the rear, usually here, it has the vendor logo, who is the lead vendor for it. This one doesn't in particular. And you can have some designs on the bottom. Now, what I think we should be doing on the back of these, instead of like this one where it's got a design on it, is we should be putting the base kit image. Like we have those renders, the flat lays of all of the keys that are included in the set. Why don't we put it on the back of all the boxes? Why don't we say, look guys, this is what you get in the box. And then when people come to the workshop and they're like, oh, what color is it? Or we go to a meetup and we've got like loads of GMK sets for sale. And they go, what color is this, Jake? Because the box doesn't actually tell me anything about the colors. It doesn't tell me what colors it is. It has some references here, but I don't know what colors they are. Or it doesn't have anything related to the set or a picture of the set or anything. But if we put the base kit on the back, it'd show the colors of the keys. It'd show the keys that are included. I just think that'd be a really good idea. And I have mentioned it to GMK and basically got mms and ahs and no real commitment on that. So maybe it's something I need to raise with them again. But yeah, those are the two things that I've suggested to GMK. So yeah. Those are the two things I've suggested. Right, let's catch up. Has anyone ever made mashed potato out of the GMK trays? Well, you can't make mashed potato, but you can make mashed starch. Yes, it's been done on stream. I think Tehar did it. I honestly hate them. Every keycap I have to blow to remove the powder. Yeah, I mean, that's just part of the packaging. Why don't they make the circle bigger then? I don't know. Like, it's just the mold, and they'd have to change the mold. You know. Could they not just do the bottom tray in a different color? Maybe. Maybe. Would it be easier to alter the mold off the tray to say 2 layers? Maybe. I don't know. Like, there's options around for them. Like, I think just the bingo dabber red dot on the side would be enough to get people to see it. Conversation started for polymatch key sets. Yeah, would it also mean if you were not certain what supported, you could look at the back rather than having to go? Absolutely. Makes too much sense. That's why they won't do it. If the backside is the design, the designers could request the base kit render themselves. No, they could exist. They could. I've suggested it to a lot of designers and none of them have been particularly fond of the idea. Now, I don't know if that's just because they're thinking of it from a design perspective and not a customer perspective, but I would be all over that as a customer. Like, I'd be like, oh, this is what I need, and oh, it's there, or it's not there, or whatever, right? Okay, let's pop the daughter board in place. So this one's going to go in this way around, and then we're going to filter the cable through. Just like so. So yeah, so I think there's a lot of options to improve GMK packaging, but you know, that's up to them if they want to use them. Wish you could see more of it from the top. It is a lovely color, isn't it? It's such a nice color. I think Midnight Rainbow R2 should be a reference example of how to do GMK packaging. Yeah, so I was speaking to GMK on this actually the other day, GMK Midnight Rainbow R2, because I want to do it soon, but I want to do this I'm going to change the camera for this. So I want to do Midnight Rainbow R2 but in stock, and yes, we'd have it here at PT, and I hope that some other vendors worldwide would choose to pick it up and buy it from us, but I would effectively pay for production up front. Now, one of the things that has delayed that this month, because I was talking to Mario literally about this Thursday or Friday, is the lubed switches situation. So the budget that I had to do that has been entirely lost because of the cost that I'm having to pay to GMK to take over the nerve sets for lubed switches in the US. Like their invoice was a big invoice, certainly compared to what we usually pay to GMK, and it's a lot of money, and that has basically robbed me of any spare capital for at least a month. So whilst I was likely to place the order for Midnight Rainbow R2 this month, that's now up in the air, because what I have to do now is I have to sell all of the GMK nerve stuff to make back the money that we've invested into buying it from GMK, to make sure that they didn't lose money because of lubed switches situation. And it's not cheap to do that. Like, it's really expensive. So hopefully we will sell the vast majority of them. There's not been that many lubed customers who actually still want the set and have come to us. I think less than a quarter of the people who were owed a set from lubed have come to us and said, yes, we'll rebuy it. So then the question becomes, is with all of the extras, can we then distribute them across multiple different vendors, and will they buy them from a wholesale cost? Will some customers buy them at extras in stock cost? What does that look like? And there is a real risk that I lose a shit ton of money on this, because I've had to take the risk to try and do the right thing. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. It's a whole thing. Sticker says, I think it would be a nice idea actually. The renders most designers use likely wouldn't print particularly well, but it would be relatively easy to create a set of vectors that could be laid out to match the base kit and fill with whatever colors. Like, the images would be fine to print, Snicket. Like, I don't see there being any issues with most of them being printed. They don't need to be super duper accurate. They need to be just a broad representation for someone picking it up in hand. They don't need to be as close and accurate as like the renders do. If you think of the packaging for anything that you buy, you know, it's never going to be exactly the same colors or exactly the same stuff. You know, it's just going to give an idea, a bit of context, because like if you get like 50 GMK sets lined up from one side of the room to the other, there is like color gradation in the printing on the packaging. Like, some, if you have all of the nerve, for example, some boxes have the nerve fluorescent yellow slightly brighter than other boxes, and it just depends on how many times the print head's been used when they've been to the printers, right? You know, sometimes as they're getting close to the end of the run, there might not be as much ink or whatever, it's not printing quite right. There is variation, especially with dark colors like grays particularly. If you get like a load of like GMK ASCII boxes next to each other, there is definitely boxes that are darker and definitely boxes that are lighter, and it's just one of the things that's inherent in pretty much all printing from what I understand. So yeah, the OG plastic tray is the best, really like that. Yeah, I was thinking of getting the Keycall 1800. Is it certain we'll be able to get an ISO plate made? Trying to be very selective of what I buy these days. Yes, Trojan. So if you buy the solder PCB through us, we will make you and include you an ISO plate for free. It says that on the product listing. Like, I have the plate file, I just need to convert it this week from ANSI to ISO, and then I'm not sure if I'm allowed to release the plate file or not, but I will absolutely be able to cut you a POM plate, and that will go in the box with it if you order the solder PCB. 100%, we'll do that. Time to buy nerve extras to get Midnight Rainbow R2 going. Yes. Chris Bezic, hello Jay, how are things? Good, man. Sorry I couldn't meet you today. I really was looking forward to that and I wasn't able to get there. If you still have extras after I get a refund, I'll grab another set. Thank you, Smoked Out. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. It would be nice to have a leaflet that comes with GMK sets. I recently got KKB Matusu Lake and it came with a leaflet, and it was really nice how they explained how they themed the set. That's a designer decision, Icy Prisoner. That's a designer decision, so yeah. Right, okay, so let's put the weight back on the board here. So that's going to sit on there. Let's do this in one nice fluid moment. There we go. Oops. Just want to make sure we're not trapping that cable. There we go. Okay, let's put these screws back in. Is there a date that Nerve Extras will become available? Not yet. GMK has sent all of the lubed switches sets to me because we sorted the invoice out for that quite quickly. They should arrive this next week. I have a list of a number of customers who've requested to buy those sets first. They'll all be getting invoiced at the end of this week coming. And then a week on Monday, I hope we can ship all of those orders out, or maybe a week on Tuesday, something like that. Once all of those orders have shipped, then we'll have a take of the extras, and whatever other vendors want, we'll then ship out to the other vendors once they've paid for them, and we'll put whatever we're keeping as extras in stock. So realistically, maybe it'll be a week on Friday. Maybe that'd be like the earliest I think we'd be able to do it. A week on Friday. JQ UK says, wait, so Keycult Novel Keys is not supplying an actual plate file themselves? I don't know. I was shared the ANSI plate file on Friday, and I'm going to convert the ANSI plate file into an ISO plate file. And then I will be using that to produce the POM plates that I'll then give to customers for free if they buy a solder PCB. I don't know if then I'll send the plate file back to Novel Keys afterwards, and then it's up to them if they want to make use of that or whatever. I don't know what's going to happen with that. Okay, so that's the weight back on, and it's got the USB board all nicely installed. It's looking really good, really smart, nice. Next job is to pop the plate and PCB assembly. Oh, that was concerning. I didn't notice this before, but look, the JST connector. Come on, camera, focus, please. Is on an angle. I just thought when I said I thought I dislodged it and broken it, but it is designed to be on an angle. Interesting. So yeah, let's get that plugged in. I was not expecting that to be on an angle like that, but that's fine. We can work with it. Come on. Oh, that makes it really awkward to fit. Oh man, this is really awkward to fit in. There we go. Right. There we go. Right, okay, so that's now in place. Set that down. Sits on the gaskets nicely. Nice. Top case. Top case in place. Screws. And remember, these have got the Bion bolt type system. So we're going to go in at a 45-degree angle. Nice. There we go. Priorities come first. There's always another time. Thank you, dude. I appreciate that. I am sorry that I didn't get that. True, but most renders are done in digital color space and will come out very washed out in print. Another option would be to get an ICC profile for the printer paper that GMK used so designers can proof the images for the print, adjust colors so that they actually come out in a reasonable way. Yeah, I mean it's all doable though. They're choosing the colors for the actual packaging as it is already. They're already making that packaging design, so there's no reason why the designers couldn't just do that as making part of the packaging design, right? That it's just a PDF at the end of the day. Is it possible to just get a top case of the Optica for at some time after the group buy? No, we'll only be ordering whole keyboards, I'm afraid. We won't be ordering parts of keyboards for Optica. Take a JST over a ribbon. I think I'd take a JST over a ribbon as well. Yeah. I'd definitely take a JST over a ribbon cable. Maybe it's just me, but that really rubs me the wrong way by giving the support on the PCB, saying you need a custom plate, and then only giving you the ANSI plate file to deal with it, and what feels like just taking advantage of your goodwill to sort it out for ISO customers. I mean, like, if I hadn't told you, JQ, that I was the one that's going to edit the plate file, would you have felt the same way? Like, if you didn't know that I was doing the plate file and you assumed that KeyCult were doing it, like, I don't know. Like, I'm part of the project. It doesn't really matter who's doing it. If the person doing the changes is part of the project, my point is, does it really matter? Even more so, one of the key features is the product is a specialized coated plate, which is scrap metal for those users. Yeah, I mean, that's slightly disappointing. Yes, I agree with that one. I'd prefer if Jade did the plate file. At least we know it's right. Thanks. Now if it's wrong. Now if it doesn't work, I'm in the shit, right? No, it should be fine. Like, I'll get a couple of people to check it over once I've done it. I'll get a couple of people to review the plate file and make sure it works. And what I'll probably do is I'll probably just lay it over an 1800 PCB and just make sure it all aligns. Or, to be honest, I could lay the plate file over any 60% PCB as well, because as long as the rest of the switches line up, it doesn't matter what PCB is behind there, because all of the other stuff is going to be partly done by KeyCult. I'm only going to change the left shift and the ISO enter. So, yeah, like, I can just use any PCB to align all of that up and make sure it's right. I had a couple of group buys where I had to file down the plate on the left shift due to it not being right. Yeah, we have some lava boards extras. We will, Gator, yes, we will have some lava boards extras, yeah. Someone actually uses the layout making the plate file. It's not like wrong ISO plates a common thing or anything. JQ, you are on a sarcasm mood today. You are Mr. Sarcastic today. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Right, okay. The board is now built, and it's looking super, super nice. Looking great. So, because of the green in this board... Oh man, I just love the look of this thing. Because of the green in this board, I've picked some special keycap sets for you to choose from today. So, I hope a mod is ready to take down the notes on this one and decide on the keycap set. Put a poll up for you. The first one is GMK Tribal. This has got some really nice greens in there, and I think the other colors could really pop on the silver case. GMK Tribal is option 1. Option number 2, ye old favorite, GMK 9009R2. The reason I've selected this is because we do have BAE in here, so rather than do it ANSI, we can do it BAE with the enter key. It's right there, look, the big old enter key, big ass enter. And beige goes with everything. And it has the green accents too. So the green to the green could be quite nice. That's option 2. Option number 3, going on the green theme, is GMK Shinseki. We've just restocked this as well. If you like EVA themed stuff, this has just gone back in stock, including all of the accents and the novelties as well. The whole thing, because we sold out of all the base kits as well. So we've just restocked all of this. So that's option 3, going on that green theme. Next up, we have GMK Hanok. So this is kind of to try and tie into that green and brown and woody feel and kind of go for that natural feel. So GMK Hanok is option number 4. It's kind of like these lovely rich browns and beige, basically. I think it does have some green legends in there as well. And then finally, to fit on the green theme, we have something that we don't see on stream very often. GMK Fleuriste. So the green and the pink in this set work really, really well together with a beige and white kind of mods and alphas. So I think that might be like a bit of a black horse in this contest. So let me see what you guys want to do. Should be a poll coming up, but those are the options. So we've got GMK Fleuriste, GMK Hanok, GMK Shinseki, GMK 9009, and GMK Tribal. So, GMK, I choose you. Well, now I know which moderator's done that, because that's going to be Jellymaster who's created that poll. It is. I'm almost certain it's going to be Jellymaster. That just feels like a GMK, I choose. That feels like a Jellymaster title, I've got to be honest. Right, okay. Zooted. No, Zooted. Sticky says, I completely agree. It's a really nice idea. We'll just take a couple of additional materials from GMK to implement it in the best way. Not that that would take too long for those materials to be made. Like, everything else has been printed anyway. Like, it can't be difficult to do. It should be dead easy. It should be dead easy. Like, just as someone thinking from a customer-centric point of view, putting the base kit on the back just makes sense. We need more of this JQ streaming. Would Botanical suit? I do have Botanical, but it's on another board, so that wasn't here. Just some compounding bad news then. Only just woke up. Oh, dude, I'm sorry. I hope things get better. Honest Account says, I'm not a huge fan of any of the KC stuff, but that 1800 rubs very wrong. Tiny bit of stainless steel, all coated aluminium, not even anno option, meaning it's likely not DDS, and this rubs even worse. So no one uses DDS anymore, right? This whole thing that people should use DDS, we haven't touched DDS for anything we've produced in-house for 3 years. The reason being the costs went up and the quality went down. Like some of the production quality stuff we had from DDS, crap. So people haven't been using DDS for a while. Like a lot of boards that people say, oh, that was made at DDS. It wasn't. Like people have come to us and say, did you make this at DDS? And I was like, nope. You know, or I see people claim that it was made with DDS. No one uses DDS anymore, or very few people. So yeah, so that's first misnomer in your thing. But I agree about the coated options and the anno options. The MOQ is likely very high, meaning boards should be way more affordable for practically a full alu. Yeah, they're charging almost $500. So the MOQ isn't huge for this. There is a little bit of price due to the name and the key cult. You know, there's royalties that have to go to a few different places. That does add some to the price, I'm sure. It's not a super high MOQ for this. They're not making like, you know, 20,000 boards or something like that, like Neos and things are. So yeah, so whilst I agree with some of the sentiment in there, I think it may be slightly misaligned. I don't think anything that we've ever been involved in has ever been cashed as a cash grab. Like the profit margin on the on that board is not like we're not making like $50 a board or something here at PT. We're not making huge amounts of money. It's you know, it's by the time we've done QC and packing and shipping, we're not making much at all, you know. But I get your opinion. I appreciate your opinion. I think there is some element of it to, you know, it being key cult, therefore the brand drives a premium, and I think some people don't like that. But you know, most boards that people claim are made at DDS aren't anymore and haven't been for a long time. Travel is always teased but never picked. You could be the guy that changes that. No, you can't, because Fleuris is just one. Hanuk for me. Option 6, JOG. Well, we keep it to 5 options when we can, but yeah. Niku says, AOJ and chat, anyone share any experience shipping PT orders to EU? Want to get GMK white and black 9009 BAE, but scared of the fees for it? There are no fees, Niku. So when you buy from us, you pay your VAT at checkout. When we ship to you, you don't get any import fees. Simple as that. We're fully IOSS registered. Everything leaves here and goes to wherever you are in the EU, just like buying from another EU vendor does. The only thing that's slightly different is our shipping costs are a little bit higher because it's technically international now, so it's an international cost, but you don't pay any import fees. You pay everything at checkout and then it arrives at your door a few days later. That's it. KC boards on NK are defo cash grab. Full value boards for nearly 600. I'm sorry you feel that way, man. I really am. Now spend all my points on tribal. If it doesn't get picked, I want a refund. Sorry, Afresh. I'm sorry, dude. Are you making it enough to get a cheeseburger? Maybe. Depends on where we're getting the cheeseburger from, Ray the Kid. I assume by that you've read my latest blog post, which is more of a rant than anything else. Never had a key call and they damaged the brand, but as it's an ISO and I don't have an 1800 board, I could do with one for work. Nice. I agree that no brass stainless steel way. I don't understand the decision on the red case. I think it is the fall of KC. Maybe. You know, Novel Keys are trying to do key culture solid, a little bit like we're doing with Protozoa. They're trying to help them out. It is what it is. You know, you can either like it or not like it. Like people think that they look at the economics of like a board and where it's priced. And the other thing as well is I don't know if Novel Keys are anticipating like the tariffs from Trump's China manufacturing stuff. You know, they might be anticipating that and adding that into the cost. Who knows? I was lucky enough to get a hippo in dark blue. Any recommendations on sets to go with it? Yes. GMK Blue Alert just went into stock. You are so lucky. It's in stock right now, and it'll ship tomorrow if you order it today. You got an email saying you won and didn't use it. That's fair, Trojan. That's fair. I love reading your blogs on the way to work. There might be more coming soon because I keep having things that come to mind that make me want to just get things out. Now ask for a discount on Blue Alert. You know, we don't ever do discounts for stuff that's just gone in stock, and Blue Alert literally went in stock on Friday, so that would be a hard no. Right, let's get some keycaps on the board. Okay, so I guess we do have one question that we need to answer first of all. Do we want to use accent spacebar? And if so, which color? So perhaps a mod can do a poll and say, do we want accent pink or accent green for the spacebar? Or do we want the alpha color? Whatever you pick for the spacebar, I'm going to do the opposite for the enter and the escape. I'm going to do the opposite for the enter and the escape. Get rid of the bits that we don't need. If you want to see how close the green is, oh, it's actually a really close match. Look at that. Look at that. Look how close that is. That's probably about accurate. Look how close that green is. That's about color accurate there. Accent spacebar is just using spacebar in a funny voice. No, it's not. Oh, we did split backspace. Jay, what are you doing? You don't need that. Don't need that either. Don't need that either. So many things we don't need. We don't need a super key either. What am I doing? Control. We need a control. In fact, we need two controls. Oh, should we use the novelties as well? I'm going to put a couple of novelties in there because these are quite cute. Oh, we have that switch in the wrong place. Let's fix that. There we go. Honestly, says, I mean, the point still stands, to be honest, with the Keycult 265, which they ran was $485 and almost 500 MOQ, or the TKL, which was the same. Those had no weights other than ALU. Also, no disrespect to PT. Love you guys. Business is business. Hopefully, the 160 Unlimited group by their planning will have actual weights. I don't know. We've been talking a little bit about the 160, but I'm not part of the decision-making details for those, I'm afraid. Blue Alert, but he knows I want it. I dropped from the stream earlier, not sure if you answered my question, but I wanted to check if you plan to stock the white on black and classic beige with you guys. Okay, we're working with GMK to try and offer them. I've asked the question. I'm just waiting for confirmation of the details for that. So we'll see. No guarantees, no promises, but if I can, I will. Just looking for the other novelty keys that we need. In fact, we'll put an all there. I'm just going to have one novelty on the bottom row. We're just going to have that one. We do need stepped caps, and then we need alphas. We don't need arrows, so we can get rid of that. We do need that shift key. Whoops. And we do need that shift key. That works out nicely. Wait. Is that right? That looks really close to that switch. No, it is right. Yeah. Okay. Oh, let's use an FN key that's quite cool because that says open on it. We lost a foot. What's going on there?
Tasty, tasty.
Why is that rocking? Oh, we have lost a foot. I have lost a foot off the board and the board's now rocking. I'll have to try and find it. It must be on the floor or on the desk somewhere. I'll have a look in a minute. Right, let's carry on with the keycaps. Okay. All the issues I had with powder coats back in the day put me right off key cult. That's fair. Hold the green up to the case. I did. Yes, it's pretty close. So you guys want alpha colored spacebar. Okay, so that means we're going to go green enter and a pink escape. I'm pretty sure there is a pink escape. He says pink escape and hopes that there is one. There is. There we go. Okay. Reminds me of certain lovely MK UK Joe2. Nice. Proto DMA board with a PC weight. Yeah. Someone's spending points again. It's not ISO, not split left. Yeah, we're not using split left shift on this because we only have the hot swap PCB, so we're kind of limited in the layout that we could pick here. Okay, I'm slightly concerned that I haven't seen. Have I put it in the case already? In the tub, sorry. The pipe key. I must have already put it in the tub because I don't see it here. I don't remember seeing it. Perhaps I did and just completely blanked on seeing it. Oh wait, is there only an alpha coloured one? Is that it? I see. There's only an alpha coloured one, that's why. Split right shift is the dogs. Yeah, I like split right shift. Manu, thank you so much for the sub 4-month streak. Thank you. EPPT ramen stock with the seaweed kit would be nice as well. Yeah. The escape and enter key would be opposite the spacebar. Yeah, whatever you guys picked for the spacebar, we were going to do these the opposite, which is what we've done. Should have wasted all my points on the keycap. Monaco keys, hey man, good to see you, dude. Doubt we're getting a second board build tonight. I think you might be right. Do F1 drivers buy keycaps from you? As a lot of them live in Monaco. So, how do can I talk about this? So I am very lucky, and I can't tell you why I got to be able to do this, but you can maybe infer that I got to go visit the McLaren offices and showroom a couple of years back through certain means, which I wouldn't have been able to do if I hadn't have run a keyboard store. So whilst we may not have drivers who are custom keyboard fans, certainly I think it's safe to say some of the teams have employees who are keyboard fans. In fact, quite a lot. So like multiple Formula One teams. Seem to be running out of keys here, and we haven't got all the keys on the board. So I'm wondering if we've got everything we need for this. That's in the wrong place. Jay, why did you put that there? Can we get that off? Yeah. So 1 to 2 keyboards are the same, but just means we'll be doing. I'll do the customer board during the day tomorrow, and then we'll build the Loki 65 next week on stream. Okay, maybe we do have all the keys. It felt like we didn't have all the keys for a split second, but I think we do. There we go. You see on Geek Hack the guy making a McLaren inspired keyboard. Yeah, I know Baron. Oh, yeah, I've spoken to him a little bit about it. Any new beige sets coming that aren't alerts that you can share? Yeah, so yeah, before we look at the board that we've just finished building, yes, there is the JOG keycaps in stock right now, which is my take on what a true beige set should be like if you're trying to emulate vintage keycaps. And IMO, they're the best analog to vintage keycaps on the market right now, and they're cheap. They're like 45 quid or something. They're really cheap. So beige, if you want dice up, JOG. The other thing that we've had in as a sample to see if we actually want to sell it is this. So this is called well, this is from MM Studio, and if you watch Simon, he was ranting about this. This is glazed beige. So what does glazed mean? Glazed means I have some JOG, pretty solid caps. Yeah, JOG, they're pretty good. They're pretty good. Glazed keycaps. So I know where these were made. And I'm actually really excited about these. Now, there's a couple of slight downsides to them, and this is the first time I've opened these up. But what it means that they're glazed is that they're actually super duper shiny. These are designed to be super shiny keys, and you probably can't tell that on the screen at the moment, but I'll show you what it looks like in a second. There we go. Oops. So because they're glazed, the film is sticking to them, where if they were textured keycaps they wouldn't. Oh no, come on. Come on. There we go. Right. So what are glazed keycaps? They look like normal beige keycaps. But let me show you. This is what GMK set looks like in the light, right? This is what these look like in the light. These are shiny boyos. These are glazed and super duper shiny. These are shinier than SA comes out of the box. These are almost like polished. They're even glossier than HSA. So these are UV printed, yes. So my original thought when we were looking at these is, well, I knew they weren't double shot because of where they were manufactured, and I can tell that from just looking at them. But these are UV printed with then a glaze applied over the top. So the actual legend sits underneath the glaze. So they're not dye sub. The legends are really crisp compared to dye sub. They're much crisper than you would get on dye sub, and they're much thinner as well. But they are UV printed, but they're printed underneath this glaze. It's not a ceramic, but it's kind of like a glazed plastic layer. Now, what I think they've actually done to get this kind of look on top is I think that they have done a pad print onto the keycap to get the legend there. And then to get the glaze on there, what they've done is they've actually dye subbed a layer of plastic over the top, I think. So when you dye sub, what it usually do is you have like a film that sits over the top of the keycap, and heat ablates that film onto the keycap and transfers the dye across. But you could also transfer the plastic across as well if you use the right types of plastic and the right types of heat. So effectively, I think these are a little bit like a wrap on them, like a really thin vinyl layer to make them super shiny. Now, I haven't scratched one to test that yet, but I think that's how they're doing it, because the inside of the keycap is not shiny at all comparatively. Like, it's just normal keycap on the inside. So I don't think it's a property of the plastic. I think it's like a coating. But yeah, they are UV printed, but I think they're underneath the layer. What I will do is I will attack one of these with a knife at some point to try and figure out if I'm right on how they've got the coating done, or if they are inherently baked to make them look like this. I'm not sure. In fact, fuck it. Do you know what? let's look now. Okay, so I've literally just cut like a corner off this. This is keyboard science on stream. Okay, yeah, okay. So I don't know how well this is going to come on camera, but you can see where I've attacked this keycap. I've peeled up a sheen of it. So I know the light looks like it's shining, but it's not. Like the keycap is actually dull on the inside. You can see the texture difference there. So I think this is a coating on the outside of the keycap. Look there, that's it. That you can see it there. Like, see the difference between where I've cut it here. As we get the light in it, look there. You can see the difference between the shiny bit and the bit where I've cut. And then you put the bit where I've cut into the light, and it's dull and not reflective. I think this is a coating over the top of the keycaps. Use a lesser key. Guys, like, this is a test set. This is a prototype set. It's what this is for, right? This is for evaluation purposes. This is evaluation. This is evaluation. I mean, personally, I think they look fantastic. Like I think they look great. Let's have a look at some of the other keys. Okay. Let's have a look at some of the colored keys. So first of all, this orange. Look how fantastic that color is. Yeah, this glaze is like a coating over the top. It feels like it's a plastic film, but I'm not 100% certain because I can't find like an edge to it. So it's either bonded to it really, really, really well, or it's like a really thin sprayed on layer, and I'm not sure how they've done it. Maybe I need to have a chat with the factory, but I'm pretty sure that the legends, whilst they're UV printed, they're underneath it, so they shouldn't wear off anyway. They're underneath this kind of coating. So yeah, they are super duper shiny. They're really glossy. But yeah, I think we're going to offer these in stock. I'm pretty excited about them. I think they look great. The legends are nice and thin. There's no legends are stupidly thick or off or anything like that. The water spots is just the plastic film on the inside. ISO support as well. No UK ISO support, but I think we might be able to get that if they do well for like a round 2, because I know the manufacturer, so I'm pretty confident we can do it. Do you have any new exciting switches coming next shipment? Yes, but I can't talk about them just yet. Let's see what you guys talk about them. Is it not UV printed? Yes, it is UV printed, but I think it's underneath a coating. They're nice, but they remind me of an end-of-life keyboard sent to the guard pile. Yes, but no yellowing. Pre-shine keycaps? Whoa, yeah, right. They won't go matte, I don't think. Feel heavier? Do they feel slippery? No, they don't feel slippery at all. They there's kind of like more grip to them almost because of like how shiny they are. I don't know. Like they feel they're quite grippy. I'd say that they on skin contact they're more grippy than the texture on a GMK keycap. Probably because there's more surface contact, I guess. Like slick tires are more grippy on dry. Wonder if they spray a clear coat. I don't think it's a spray because it's too even for a spray. I think it is plastic that's melted on, I think. Why the escape? It was the key I had in my hand. Doesn't matter. Use a shit key. I don't have a shit key. I have shift keys, but not shit ones. Take it you don't have to send them back. No, this is an evaluation set. So like I had to pay for it, but it's an evaluation set. So, you know, if we destroy it, it doesn't matter. It's samples. It's what they're for. Can't watch jerry-rig everything for the same reason I can't watch people attack a usable item. Like, how else do I find this shell, right? I've got to attack it. I want those so badly. Yeah, I think we're going to stock them because they're pretty cool. And, like, yeah, I think if they do well, we'll get the second round. We'll have UK ISO in it as well. What's the target price for this or an estimate? I don't know yet, Zosco. Hopefully around 60 quid, I think. Maybe 70 quid, something like that, I think. Do they feel slippy compared to said normal dice sub because of glaze? No, they're more grippy than GMK caps with the same pressure on. Like I'm barely touching the cap and it's like pulling it out. Like I'm barely touching it. If you could glaze any set, what would it be? Midnight Rainbow. Any new MT new coming? Always. There is always more MT new coming. Don't worry. I don't understand the glaze aesthetic. Ray the Kid. Sometimes you get it and sometimes you're wrong. You know, it is what it is. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say Stellitoscope. I know which manufacturer it is just from the keycaps themselves. I'm not sure I'm allowed to say yet. I will find out if I can say. But I'm 95% certain I know which manufacturer it is. Want a discount or something? Oh, that was my post. Naturally, you need a donut-themed set to really pull off glazing. There is a donut-themed set. Choco Donut R2 was donut-themed. Skywriter, I'm waiting for you. Yeah, Skywriter's coming. Skywriter is coming. So yeah, so those are cool. Anyway, back to the keyboard we're building. That was just an aside. I wanted to show you the set because I got the samples in this week. I know Simon was a big non-fan of these, I want to say. I think he'd actually quite like them in person. Yeah, this is why we test, right? Where did I put that knife? There it goes. Right, safe. Right, let's look at the board. So the green and the green, that came out so good. I don't know what I've done with the foot for the board. I must have like ripped it off whilst I was. I rolled over the plastic sheet that I pulled off of the keycaps, and now I don't know what I've done with it. I don't know where this foot's gone. Like, what have I done with it? It was definitely in the board. Is there a spare one here? No, just more gaskets. Oh, it is in the box. It is in the box. It's here, look. There we go. I knew I'd seen the foot there. There we go. There we go. When will GMK Nerve Extras go live? After we get the lubed switches order shipped, so in a couple of weeks. Right, okay, so this is the board. Let's pause the music so we can see what she sounds like. This is the hot swap version of the board with the aluminium plate and alpaca switches. She looks really good. Really good. Good choice of keycaps, guys. That sounds nice. This sounds so good. What a nice board. This is lovely. It's just a nice thing, isn't it? Sometimes boards are just really nice things. And I think this is one of them. This is just one of those boards that's just, it's just really nice. It's such a solid board. It's such a solid design. It just looks nice from all angles. Like you see it on the side profile. The camera's washing out a little bit there. You see it on the side profile. It's just super nice. You see it from the top down, like the front view with the green running underneath here. Super, super nice. See it on the top down. It's just clean on all the sides and all the edges. There's like a slight rounding here on the front edge as well, which is really nice to feel. And this chamfer into the hip. Look at that. This chamfer into the hip. When have you ever seen anything else done so nicely? That's just super nice. What about the ass? Excuse the fingerprints, because it's PVD. It's just got, and I've got like a little bit of grease from lubing the stabilizers on my hands. We'll give it a little bit of a polish, but it won't get them all off just yet. I'll need to put a little bit of spray on it, I think. Ripping the feet out again, look. Super, super nice. Word chamfer makes me happy. I got all of Nerve, but still feel guilty using it. I'm a sucker. Yeah, so I have Nerve here. This is my personal set of Nerve with a spacebar from Rubber Hose. Yeah, Nerve on the higher. If anyone's looking for a higher, I'm tempted to sell this because I'm just not using it. So if anyone's looking for one, drop me a DM. But it does look really nice. This style in a TKL, you can have my money. Yeah, I'll have a chat with Penguin. I'm not sure if they're planning on doing a TKL size. Nice looking board. It's lovely. If you can't find the missing feet, there's plenty of feet in the SPC. I don't want to know. Don't want to know. I don't get the whole feet thing. Like, don't get it. Don't get it. Right, okay. So I was going to try and do a second board today. I think that's not going to happen. So, unfortunately, we have run out of time. What colour is the higher? It's that colour. It's the grey. So if anyone is looking for one. What's the meaning behind the Rubber Hose stuff? It's just an art style. What's the Disney hint about? Disney? Nothing about Disney with Rubber Hose. It's like the whole Steamboat Willie was drawn in the Rubber Hose style, if that's what you mean. It's just a style from there. Feet are gross, don't worry. Yeah. Course from Matrix Lab was great. Isn't it DCS Deadbeats? DCS Deadbeats and GMK Rubber Hose, like from the same designer. So yeah, DCS Deadbeats is broadly the same keycap set, but that was slightly different colors done in SP's DCS profile. Rubber Hose is the GMK profile set. So yeah. Have you got a 2.0 ad? I do somewhere. I don't know where it is. I do have a 2.0 ad. This is the closest I can show you to a 2.0 ad on stream right now. This is the Matrix Mr. Hat Christmas edition. But I do have a 2.0 ad in black somewhere as well. But that's MT New black on white on black. With matching CP pad as well. And it's in kind of like a, it's called like a VHS kind of pattern. Hold on, my monitor's gone off. Are we still streaming? Why is my monitor turned off? Hold on guys, I cannot see anything because my monitor's just turned off. Why is that turned off? There we go. We're back. I can see again now. My monitor just turned off. We can't see you. Yes, still streaming. Yeah, weirdly my monitor just turned off for some weird, strange reason. I don't know why. Why can't we see you? Yeah, you guys can see me. I just couldn't see you. My monitor just turned itself off. I don't know. Screen optimization is not complete. I don't want you to screen optimize. Why are you screen optimizing now? There we go. Right. Okay. Would you be open to selling the black one? Not at the moment, no, honest counter. The only Matrix I'd be considering selling is the High and maybe the Able, which is like a full-size one. You could maybe convince me to part with this, which is the Matrix Able full-size board. Sorry, Kane, not Matrix. This is Matrix Kane. It is missing one screw, but it does have a ton of extra parts. It's like a Lego badge and a couple of other badges for up there, so yeah. We don't have the PAL 60s yet, so no. The PAL 60 from Protozoa we don't have yet, Silly Vicious, so I can't sell it for Protozoa until we have it. I don't know any updates on that. They'll tell me when it's shipping to us, I guess, but I don't know any more details. Why can't we see? Can't see super hands after I clicked on an icon. Ban button. Lily looks so nice. Yeah. How's the board? The board's lovely. Came out really nice. This is the Optica. Came out super nice with GMK Fleuriste on there. Excuse the fingerprints, but yeah, Optica came out super, super nice. Lovely board. I thought it was a cane. Cane is cool. Yeah, cane is cool. Yeah. In terms of boards you may be convinced to sell, do you have a Piggy 60 hidden away? No, I don't. I don't have a Piggy 60. Yeah. I do have a Google sheet. It's kind of a bit out of date, and some things have gone off that sheet. I probably need to redo it. I've actually been thinking about setting up like a part of the website that's like, I don't know, Jay's Vault or something like that, and everything that I want to sell from my personal collection is listed there with like photographs and details, and then like a you know, not like a buy thing, because if I sold it through the site, it'd be really complex from a accounting perspective, because it's my personal property and not prototypist property. But so I have to keep those very separate. But what we might do is we might have it on the site listed, and then a contact me button saying, you know, I'm interested in this. Maybe we'll do that, something like that. So yeah, Optica reminds me of Cologne. Fair. Lots of 60s in the market right now. There's always lots of 60s. 60s are really popular, so there's always lots of 60s. What are some newer switches you'd recommend? The Ghost Dragon switches are really good. I haven't used them on stream yet, but if you go on the website, here we go, and if you come across to switches, I haven't tried the GMs yet, but the Ghost Dragon switches, these are really nice. They look really nice, and they came out super, super good. So that's literally what they look like. They're really, really nice. Quite a few people have been raving about them. Other than those, the other switches that I like that we have in stock are the MX Nixies. Like, Nixies are a bit of a hit and miss for a lot of people. I'm going to sneeze. Bless me. Some people don't like Nixies. Some people don't like how much work they take. But as a modder, the Nixie switch is something that once you've modded it, and once you've taken the time to really appreciate how the switch feels afterwards, and if you like a little bit of cherry scratch, they're really good. They're really good switches, but they're not for everyone, and I appreciate that. So yeah, so those are the ones I've been looking at right now. There we go. Could you link a Google form in the spreadsheet or something? Then you can just invoice when you receive that form. Maybe, but I don't want to do it on a spreadsheet. I kind of like want to have like a product listing so people can see. Like, I've got a load of stuff that's not listed on that spreadsheet as well. Like, I've got a couple of old Real Force, New Inbox, High Pro boards, Topra as well that I kind of want to offload. I've got a couple of Norbauer boards and a few other things. Like, there's my Leviathan here as well that I kind of want to maybe offload. A load of stuff that I personally own that I'm just not getting use of anymore. So whilst there's a load of stuff on that spreadsheet, which is in Discord, and I think I might have taken it down actually, I'm not sure if it's still there or not. So whilst that's available in Discord, or was available in Discord, I kind of want to have like a section of the website that just has like Jay's Vault. This is all the stuff that Jay owns that's actually for sale, and here's how you can buy it, and here's the details of it, here's the pictures of it, here's the flaws if there are any, here's the good points, the bad points, and all that kind of stuff. It's just a time thing. After we've done the Protozoa stuff, maybe I'll look at doing like a Jay's Vault. So yeah. Hand lube Nixies golden. Yeah, like some people don't like Nixies even when they're hand lubed, but I really appreciate them. Yeah, I really appreciate them. Need more 40s, then I can have a fancy board without selling a kidney. Yeah, man. Yeah. Mode Obscuras are nice too. I don't think we have those in stock anymore before, Nigel. Yeah, Gator and Orange is full travel. Yeah, we do have the little orange switches in stock. I think we built the Synovia. So we built this with them a little while back, I think. This is a Synovia from Bion, coming soon. Stunning board. Look at the design here, and then the base as well. Again, covered in fingerprints because, you know, it has that Synovia logo there. It also has a lot of stuff in common with the Optica, actually. Like the way this front edge is designed with the colouring, like it seems to be a really common design feature now. I mean, there are differences like angles and textures and things, but yeah, this is such a lovely board, such a nice thing. Sleepover with Ozclane and I sort your vault. He can take pictures in our inventory. Maybe we could do that. Jay, have you encountered cherry stems cracking caps? Any ideas how to fix? So the only cherry stems that do that are the ergo clears, right? Or I think purples, which are technically ergo clears anyway. And that's because they were designed to like be more permanent. When Cherry designed the switch stems, they were like designed to be one and done, and like once you put the keycap on, it wasn't supposed to come off. Rather than others where the keycaps were designed to be replaceable, and that's because it has like a small bump that just kind of like stretches onto the keycap and locks it in place a bit tighter. You can, I don't know if we've got any in stock, but you can get a stem trimmer tool where you push it down onto the stem and it kind of trims that nubbin off and makes it just like a normal stem. But it's only on ergo clears and anything that uses the ergo clear mold. So like MX purples from Glasses did them, but all of the cherry switches won't affect any GMK keycap. Other brands of keycap, even if they're cherry profile, and not always to cherry specification. Just remember that. So a lot of people seem to think, oh, it's cherry profile, it'll work with any switch. Yes, but not all switches are created equal and not all keycaps are created equal. So the original cherry molds were designed to work with what became GMK keycaps. So the reason GMK keycaps are called cherry profile is because those are the original molds that Cherry made for their own keycaps to go on their own switches, and GMK just bought the molds off them back in 2011 or something like that. So yeah. It's been delayed, Jay. What's been delayed? What's been delayed? Has something been delayed? I don't know. Designers don't send PVD boards to Jay. Yeah, I just like, you know, when I'm building boards, like the reason I have this cloth is because I get greasy fingers from like lube and stuff like that, and I just never polish them afterwards. I really should polish them more. Mano posted on Discord the other day. Wait, what's been delayed? The Synovia? Oh yeah, the Synovia has been delayed. Sorry, yeah, I've just figured out what you were talking about. Is that the Skibby Data Neo? Yeah, it's KKB Ski Data Neo. Yes, Roland Dave. It's in stock right now on the website. You can buy it, and we'll ship it tomorrow if you buy it. Type to Sino again. Anatar, if you go back through the stream, there is a typing test on the Optica, but here you go. There you go. You can scroll back through the stream and get it. Synovia has been delayed by several boards. Yeah, several months. Yeah. Why is Ski Data Neo still in stock? I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, there's loads of stuff in stock. I wish, like, as a vendor, I know that people like the idea of sets being in stock, right? Or products being in stock. But as a vendor, like, I want all of that to sell. Like, that's my aim, right? Is to sell everything. Because otherwise it's just money that I've paid for stuff that's sat on a shelf doing nothing. So I think that, you know, everything that goes in stock should realistically sell out in about 6 to 12 months. If it sells out in 6 to 12 months, then, you know, the cost that we bake into the product for warehousing and stuff like that, that all covers it, yeah. So yeah. Is Choco Donuts still actually in manufacturing? I don't know it. So I actually wrote this on the board downstairs, Superhands, and asked Sharon to chase it last week. She was off on Friday. Both Mel and Sharon decided they needed Friday off for different reasons. So I haven't had an update yet, but as soon as we get an update on Choco Donuts, we'll get it on Notion. So yeah. I can't buy 10 keycap sets every month despite wanting to. You have so much great stock. I'd love to buy more. Yeah, me too. Did the Evil Dolch ISO kits end up selling out in the end? No, they did not. We've sold one since the end of that stream. One. We sold quite a lot of Evil Dolch. We've sold one ISO set since that stream. So yeah. So I bought out all of those ISO kits because the UK community promised me they wanted them. And now I'm stuck with hundreds, well, not hundreds, but you know, almost triple figures of UK ISO kits for Evil Dolch that we will never sell. So yeah. Makes me wonder how much lube is already in that board. In the beard? In the beard? I put like moisturizer in my beard every morning, and I shower it out every night, and then I let it air dry naturally. So I do quite a lot of beard care because I'm just like that. Otherwise, it gets really messy and tangled and difficult to manage. But there is no oil in my beard. and there is no lubricant in my beard. It's just it's a L'Oreal moisturizer that's designed for beards that I use. And as I say, it's like it's about the same amount as what you use toothpaste in the morning, that I rub onto my hands and rub through my beard every morning, and then I wash it every night in the shower. And yeah, that's it. Beard lube sounds weird. Yeah, beard lube does sound weird. The £600 Ko-fi tier. Yeah, you're the only one that still pays for that, dude. Jay's beard lube. I'm not sure that I'd have it. Barber Club bread. Yeah, it's the Barber Club stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Use it myself too. Yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. It's better than oils. I find that oils then dry out my skin, so I tend not to use a beard oil. I use, as I say, it's like a beard moisturizer. It looks like a normal moisturizer you put on your hands, but it's for beards. Jay, will you be building an intro S100 in the future? I don't know. I don't know if Manu's still watching, but Manu, am I getting an S100 to build? I genuinely don't know. If I am, I don't know what colorway I'm getting. So yeah. I go to each UK person who filled out the ISO IC check for Evil Dolch and stand at their doorstep until they fork out the monies. The thing is, I want to support UK ISO, I really do, and I want to have UK ISO options available. And anything I design keyset wise will have UK ISO available 100%. But the difficulty with UK ISO is that the people who want it are really vocal, and quite rightly. They're really vocal about it because they want it, and I get it. There isn't enough of them to buy for every set we sell. The UK ISO says even now about maybe half the sets we sell end up with a UK ISO kit or UK ISO keys, and even those we don't sell all of them. We end up with them sat in stock for 12-18 months. And ironically, we sell more of the sets that don't have ISO in than we do the ones that do have ISO in. So if there's no ISO kit, it tends to sell better than if there is ISO keys available. So yeah, that's kind of thing. Need a J00 ISO macro pad. Yeah, I've talked about doing that a few times. I think it's problematic for a number of reasons. And I don't think it'd sell either. So I respect Zambamon for UK ISO and base. No need to have MOQ for it. You know, years ago, back in Top Clack days, Zambamon used to make fun of me for using ISO constantly. I had one of his Zephyr boards, and it was ANSI only, and I was like, dude, like, I've got a PCB that'll fit. Can you give me the plate file so I can make it ISO? And there was a little bit of a meme backwards and forwards with Zambamon. Not like nasty, he's a great guy. But yeah, since then he's put UK ISO and everything, which has been great. Yeah. Yeah, just when I thought the stream would finish without getting into ISO MOQ. Yeah. Yeah, so we've had emails people asking if they can return the ISO UK keys. Yeah, so with a KKB set, it comes like with most KKB sets, we've agreed with KKB, and we've done this with Milky Way and to some extent Signature Plastics as well. That if you buy the base kit, we'll be able to give you ISO keys for free. I pay the manufacturer for them and then just give them to the customer for free. But we've had some people, especially with KKB Red Alert, where they've gone like, I don't want those UK ISO keys. Can I send them back? Or don't send me the UK ISO keys. I only want the base kit. So it's interesting. I bought DCS Intro from PT because of the inclusion of UK ISO. Yeah. Any ideas when Cap Midas might drop? I'm waiting for confirmation that it's actually ready to ship. Let me see if I have an update on that. I don't know of an update off the top of my head. So yeah, I haven't had confirmation that it's finished manufacturing yet. Yeah, I haven't had confirmation of that. We've paid for it, we've ordered it, we've paid for it. I don't know. I guess we'll hear from Key Creative after CNY about where it is. This just in, it was all the US people who voted for ISO as a joke. Thanks, Ray. I appreciate you. I get it affects. Yeah, we talked about it. Everyone used to complain a lot when it appeared in base. Yeah, like most people don't use ISO. Like if you sell 500 GMK sets, all the same set, like 500 GMK base kits, I bet less than 1 in 100 people actually build that board ISO. And of those 100 people, maybe 2 want German ISO, 2 want UK ISO, and 1 wants some other ISO variant. So, yeah. Yeah, it's one of those things. I wish ISO were the dominant key set in the world. I really do, or the dominant layout, because then we'd have no problems with hitting MOQ. I really like the look of this. Do I have a stronger accent today, or is it me? Maybe. GMK Brexit, like the Trump kit you designed, but Union Jack with ISO only. Should we have a look on Geekhack, see what's going on Geekhack? Should we do that? Let's have a look on Geekhack. Let's see what's going on. DCS Cafe. Oh, have you seen that? Have you guys seen this? DCS Cafe. This is finally coming back. We're going to be vendoring this. Gotta love DCS, and gotta love the Cafe colorway. The original designer of Cafe, Langalandia, great guy. He once sent me a Christmas card with all of his family on it. It was really nice. I think we need to have a chat with Signature Plastics around whether I can get the UK ISO kit for this. So in the base kit for this, the good news is that the ISO keys are already there in terms of the shifts, which means it's only the one U key, shift and enters, which means it's only the one U keys which are missing, which means I can probably get Melissa to agree to make them. So I need to work on that actually. That's something I need to check on. But yeah, looking forward to this. It looks great. I love Cafe's colours. What else is going on? Tour 60. Oh, this is the one with the exploded spacebar. I really like the boards with the exploded spacebars. Like you can see here, it's got the exploded spacebar. Yeah, look at that. Look how cool that is. Like the Nesson stuff is very much the same. In fact, I do need to build one of the Nesson 810Es because I think it's really, really nice. Yeah, I like this a lot. Cute. Substance abuse deathmatch by Necros. So we're going to be running these. Like, how cool are these deathmatches? Like, I only got asked this. I think I got asked this morning if we were going to run these. How cool are these? We'll buy the DCS Cafe. Yeah. Evil Dolch ISO is standard GMK colours, I believe. I wonder if there are any other kits it would work with. It matches GMK ZX. I don't know, is the honest answer. GMK CYL Shogun, which is not in IC at the minute. It is, yeah. DCS is produced by Signature Plastics. Yes, with a 10U, always. Look how cool these are, though. These desk mats. This is the shape of the desk mat. It's not a rectangle. It's this shape. It looks really cool. And if you want grey, if you like beige, there's rubber hose on it, or maybe dead beats, I can't tell. Look how fun these are. Look how fun. As soon as I saw these, I was like, yes, I want that, yes. Substance abuse, edgy. Yeah. It's designed after a horror movie called The Substance. So, you know, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So I'm excited by that. My new tool, what's this? Sometimes Geek Hack's interesting. Oh, it's like a cabinet for his CNC. Yeah, it's a silencer cabinet for his CNC. Okay. Yeah, okay. I don't know why that's on Geek Hack, but it's cool. Lilies of the Valley. So I'm really sad about this. Like, this was a really, really cool set, and it didn't hit MOQ. I've been speaking to Razzles, who designed it, and I think they're looking to try and bring it back in Kikobo. I don't know if that's been announced. Yeah, so Kikobo run. So we'll see how the Kikobo run goes, but I'm hoping it does make MOQ with that. The good thing about doing it with Kikobo is we can do free UK ISO. So yeah, let's watch out for that. But Lilies of the Valley, such a great colorway. Oh yeah, this is one I wanted to talk about. So, Tankhouse messaged me the other day and said, "Do you think R0 for white on black and Dolce is a good idea?" I'm like, "Yes, it is. Do an IC. See what the community say." I didn't want to jump up and down and go, "Yeah, I want to see this. I want this. I'm gonna buy this myself." Tankhouse, because I feel like that can be sometimes misleading if I'm overly excited about something to designers and I give them false hope because then they assume everyone in the community is going to think like I do, and that is not the case because I don't think like 95% of the community. But I think these are really cool. If you haven't seen GMK R0, it's really, really tall. Like this is literally what they look like. They're super, super tall. I do think one of the things that is missing on here, and I don't know if he's posted it later on, is like kind of like an R1 to R0 comparison. So I do hope he puts that on. I do hope he puts like an R0, R1 comparison because it was really, really tall. So yeah, I'd like to look at that. Looked like pink alert. It was pink alert, but really bright. So yeah, it's literally in the thread title. Okay, fine. R5 only looks good with R0. Hot take JQ. I kind of agree. Did wonder why that group buy disappeared off the website. Yeah, it was cancelled, sadly. Cancelled. R0 is a cool idea. Would be even nicer if the kits had the cherry logo novelties, the double shot ones. Yeah, that'd be quite a cool little addition actually, just to have just one extra key that is the cherry logo. That'd be quite cool. Yeah, I'd like that. The double shot one. Yeah. Maybe I'll have a chat at Tank House. We need GMK white on black at PT. Yes, working on it. Don't worry. GMK ASCII had R0. It did, yeah. GMK ZX with R0 and R5. Oh, nice. Yeah, you have the picture of it. Yeah, look. This is R0 here. This is R0 next to R1. That's the standard key for your escape key with GMK and your F-row key. This is what the standard used to be in old world, old school boards. R0. Look how much taller it is. They're so huge. They're absolutely huge. Also, look at that front print here. Look at this pad printed front print. You can see how it's raised off. I love that. I love that. The UV print, sorry. Yeah, it's really nice that it's raised off. Yeah. Yeah. You can get white and black from the GMK storefront. Yeah, I mean, hopefully we'll have it as well soon. And then you don't have like import fees to worry about and stuff. I always want to buy from Jay. Comes faster than US vendors to a US citizen. Dude, like we work so hard. One of the things that we work so hard on here at Prototype is speed of order to shipping. And the reason why we do this is because I get really frustrated on a weekend because we'll get an order at like 10 p.m. on a Saturday night, and I will get an email from those customers at Sunday lunchtime. So while we're closed over the weekend, 10 p.m. on Saturday night to Sunday lunchtime, maybe 12 or 14 hours later, why isn't my order shipped? And it's like, dude, we're closed for the weekend. We're not back to work until Monday morning. We don't start work until 8 o'clock Monday morning. Nothing's going to happen until then. And then you can guarantee you say that to them. We don't start work till Monday morning. 9 o'clock on Monday morning, why hasn't my order shipped yet? And it's like, we have a lot of orders over the weekend, and then literally like 2 or 3 hours later, the order shipped. But we try and keep our turnaround time from an in-stock order to less than 10 working hours, 1 working day, and the vast majority of the time it's like less than 3 working hours from you placing the order to us having it boxed up and a label slapped on it, and you then get tracking. And we never give customers tracking until the order is literally ready to be collected by UPS or Royal Mail. The only time we ever like complete the tracking fulfillment in Shopify is the moment that we're ready to put the label on the box. Like as we print the label, that's when we send you the email. So we print the label, put it on the box, and the box is already full of your stuff, and then it goes out the door. And I think that that's a really clear way of doing it. Like some vendors, you'll find you'll get a tracking number, and this isn't like a detriment to those vendors, it's just how they work. And then your order will ship 2-3 days after that, and you're like, well, what's happening with my tracking? Why isn't it updating? I don't like to give customers a tracking number unless that's going to be collected by UPS the same day. And if UPS ever fail to collect, you can tell that I'm annoyed because I get angry on the Instagram stories, and I'll be like, bloody UPS haven't turned up today, and getting quite angry about it. So yeah, but like we try and keep turnaround time. Like most times during the week, if you order, it's less than 3 hours from the order taking place, or working hours, 8 till 4, less than 3 hours from you ordering to actually being labeled and ready to go and be collected. So yeah. R0 is the keycap she told you not to worry about. Yeah, I'm just an R1 bro, man. It is what it is. Consider putting R0 on the top F row of my Placket XL, but it might look cursed. No, it'd look good there. It'd look good. The Placket XL, great board. I kind of salty I didn't get a prototype of that. Amazon effect. Now. Yeah, like, yeah. Like we had a customer this week who we shipped their order a couple of weeks ago, and UPS tried to deliver it to them. They were in the US. UPS tried to deliver it to them, and for whatever reason, either the customer wasn't home or they didn't actually try to deliver it. I don't know. I heard both sides. It ended up going to a collection point, and then the customer was like, "I want you to refund my shipping." It's like, no, I haven't done anything wrong here. Like, we paid to ship your item to UPS. Your item shipped. You now have it. It's less than 2 weeks. I ordered it 2 weeks ago. I wanted it the day after. It's like, well, we can't always do that. Like, shipping takes time. It'll be more time between it leaving here and getting to most people than it will be between you pressing the buy button and me sending you a tracking label, or Mel sending you a tracking label. So yeah. I haven't ordered anything. Why hasn't my order shipped? Sometimes it be like that. Why didn't you read my mind and preempt my next order? So, interestingly enough, I've been trialing in the background some software that guesses when a customer, based off past history, is likely to make their next order. It is scarily accurate. It's to like within 3 or 4 days accurate. For we have a range of customers that we have looked at this on, and it's customers who make orders semi-frequently. So they order more than 3 times a year from us, right? More than 3 times a year. We've had this software running since September, and every single time it said, this week, within the next 7 days, we expect this customer to make an order. It's been right. It doesn't actually tell us what product they're likely to make, but it gives a rough estimate as to how much they're going to spend. And it is so uncannily close to reality that it beggars belief. It is terrifying. It's so bad that we actually turned it off about 3 or 4 days ago, because I was looking at the results from it. I'm like, how's it deciding this? How does it know? Where's it getting the rest of its purchasing information from? Because it only has access to the stuff on our store. So we've turned it off for now, but it is terrifying what technology is out there. Ship tonight before you leave. I mean, I can pack something tonight and give you a label, but it won't leave until tomorrow because, you know, UPS aren't going to come until tomorrow. That's why my last order I typed on the tag JChat, because you guys work so fast. I was worried you'd process the order instantly, as you mostly do. We try. I do not want this software to exist. I would love to see a stream showcasing that software. It sounds so interesting. I mean, there's a lot of information I can't share on it. Maybe I could set up like a bit of a fake store and do it dynamics, but yeah. That's not a fair experience of my UPS description. I don't know. Like we've had like 4. I don't know whether you were the affected customer D would fork or not. But we've had like 4 customers in the UPS, in the US, who've said that stuff's been happening and not happening. We've had different versions of the story from customers and different stories from UPS, and then almost every customer has been like, I want a refund. And it's been really difficult to decide what to do in those situations. Like, this isn't a negative against any customer and them having expectations, but it's kind of like, well, like, where does our responsibility end and where does the shipping company start, and where does the shipping company's responsibility end and where does it become our problem? In most cases where companies use a third-party shipping system, the customer has to go to the shipping company to figure out what's going on, because we don't see anything. Like, most vendors don't go. Like, we're really open to feedback about the shipping experience that customers have. Most companies aren't. Most companies would just say, oh, go look at your tracking or go speak to them. So it's really difficult. It's really different. And I'm not like trying to pick on anyone or, you know, make anything negative about customer experience. We get different sides of stories, and then we have to try and filter our way through, and we have no idea which side is the truth, which side is wrong, you know, and it varies from customer to customer, but it's an interesting, you know, experience. Can you look me up? So I don't know if I want to share individuals' data on that Zizora. I'm not sure where data protection ends and starts on stuff like that. So I'm not sure if I can share that on stream, or like legally. I'm not sure. Love your response was this, and my response was, oh no, I have a problem. Captain Reed is very good at calling out people's problems. If I had access to all released on major vendor stores, I feel like it would be 99% accurate. Maybe. People are oddly predictable. Yeah. Just checked my orders. Notice the last 3 numbers are always the same. Yeah, so the way that we number orders, we had to make a massive change about we've done this twice now, so I'm trying to think about the best way to explain the story here. So when we first started out, we didn't have to be VAT registered here in the UK. And then when we hit the threshold on, I think it was week 9 of us running, we hit the threshold of like 86 grand in revenue, and we had to then become VAT registered, right? And when we had to become VAT registered, we had to make a change to the order numbers. Now, we've actually reset the order numbers about 3 different times since then, but we had to make a change so I could differentiate between orders that were made and placed prior to us having to become VAT registered and orders after that point. Because some of those orders before were group buys and wouldn't ship for months down the line, and when we did accounting, we had to be able to make sure we could account for those 2 separate pots separately. So what we did is we added a modifier, which is 928, onto the end of the order numbers. And the reason why we have that there is because that is what on an old T9 mobile phone, so on the old school like Nokia 3310, we used to have to go, you know, like the letter A was 1 click on the 2 key, the letter B was 2 clicks on the 2 key, you know, you had D, E and F on the 3 key. 928 would be the keys that you would press to get VAT. So 9 was on the V key, A was on the 2 key, and T is on the 8 key. So, you know, that's where it comes from. It just is VAT in old, you know, text code. That's all it is. And it just differentiates for us when VAT started to have to be collected on us, which I think was week 9 of PT existing. I think we hit the threshold in the 9th week, I think, from memory. So yeah, so that's all that was there for. But then we've actually reset the order number system a couple of times since then. I think we reset the order system then, and I think we've done it 2 more times since, where the actual order number, the way it's constructed is different. Because for a long time we had an order number that was constructed through using the timestamp of the order and like a modifier, and then Shopify took that feature away, and then we started to do just basic counting up numbers. What's the word for that? I don't know. I've forgotten the word for it. There's a word for it. What's the word for it? I don't know. Anyway, there's a word. There's a word I'm forgetting. And then we changed from that to something else, and then we went back to that as well. So yeah, we've gone through a few things.
Tasty, tasty.
I told Mel the other day she's too efficient. Yeah, we try hard to be as efficient as possible. That's the plan. Bought a key only available from Fender X and keycaps from PT with the same color scheme. Software would appreciate. So I don't think that the software goes across multiple vendors. I'm pretty sure that that's illegal. And as far as I understand it, the software only predicts through what we do. If you guys want to look into this, it's part of the Clavio stuff, or Clavio. I don't know how you pronounce it. But we had a meeting with them a couple months ago. We've got another meeting with them on Tuesday because we're not taking that aspect of it, but we're looking at some other bits of information they can do. But it's scarily accurate. It's scarily accurate. This is Moulane's account. He is from New Zealand. He buys black keycaps and more keyboards than he needs. He's going to order again tomorrow and buy something else he doesn't need. Our predictions are 100% correct. Yeah. I think UPS is pretty good, and I normally get the same guy delivering my stuff from you guys. Yeah, UPS has a slightly worse attrition rate than DHL had, to like a fraction of a percent. It's like, instead of it being like 0.25, it's like 0.29 or something like that. So it's a fraction of a percent of difference in terms of actual performance. In terms of delivery times, on average across all deliveries we've done with DHL and deliveries with UPS, they're about a day slower in terms of delivery time, speed from collecting here to actually being delivered. They are much more approachable if something goes wrong. Like, I can actually go to my account rep and say, this has gone wrong, can you fix it? And a fix generally happens within 2 to 3 days. With DHL, whilst it was needed slightly less, that process didn't exist, and the account rep would be like, there's nothing we can do, it's in the system, the customer will have to wait. So like, I'm pretty sure our account rep, she's not supposed to get involved, but she does. Like, you read all the terms and conditions in the contracts, and it basically says if you ship from yourself to the customer, you will get the same tracking that the customer does. If the customer has an issue, the customer should reach out to UPS directly, because the contract for shipping is then with the customer. They're the end user, and they're, from a data protection point of view, they can discuss things with the customer about the delivery that we can't be privy to. So if the shipment's on its way and you go into UPS, My Choice app, or whatever you want, and you change the delivery address, I'm not allowed to know that you've changed the delivery address to somewhere new, because that's some data that you've given to UPS that is then protected by the Data Protection Act, and I'm not allowed to know. So if you've requested for it to go to a pickup shop and stuff like that, I can know it's gone to a pickup shop. I'm not allowed to know which one, because I don't have that level of tracking. Your tracking then becomes a different tracking. So I can see much less. So I then have to go back and forth with UPS just to get the same information that you have. It's quite interesting, really. It's quite interesting. It's only a keyboard item, and being used to group buys, you have to have patience. Yeah. I call them out as I problems myself. GMK 928, each key is a tax code or tax manual number, ISO only. Nice. Marshmallows, thank you so much for the raid. I thoroughly appreciate it. That's why all the numbers end in 928. Consecutive, that's the word I was looking for. Yes, consecutive numbers. Yeah, I don't know why I couldn't think of that. My mind just gone blank. Thought that was my customer number or something. Nope. You all do have customer numbers, but you will never see them. Sequential, yeah, all good ones. Good old fat 16-bit long GUIDs for order numbers. So exactly, we did used to have GUIDs, and Shopify took that feature away. I'm not sure why, or maybe we had it as part of another application that we were using, and like I'd removed that. I don't know, but it used to be there and it's not there anymore. UPS deliveries from PT have been very quick for me in Sweden, but the last 2 parcels have been damaged, and in one case some items fell out. Thankfully, nothing important. I'm kind of wondering what UPS is doing to the boxes, since they seem quite steadily built. Yeah, like if anything like that happens, do report it to UPS. That's pretty good considering they deliver more packages in the US. Hello, Raiders. Have a great stream. Wife made pork chops. Nice, man. Nice, that sounds good. Did you get your money back from their wrong delivery for me? No. So we can only claim if a package takes more than a certain number of days to arrive. If a package is delivered incorrectly, we can't claim for it. If they deliver the package wrong, we can't claim for it. Technically, the customer can, as the end user, they can put a claim in and we can authorize, like, approve it. But we can't make a claim for it. The only things we can make a claim for are totally lost packages, ones that just completely get lost. If it's been marked as delivered, even if it's delivered to a wrong address, we can't claim back. And as I say, we can only claim if it's taken over a certain number of days to arrive as well, and then being delivered successfully. So yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult sometimes, but like the overall losses are less than we had with DHL, because DHL, if a package was lost, DHL used to charge us a fee for trying to find it, and that fee was more than what the compensation would be. And they won't like pay for the loss of the package cost that the customers paid. They'll pay for the loss of the cost to produce the product in the package. So you have to then show what it costs to produce that package. So if we sell an item for 100 quid, but it only costs us £1 to make it, they would only pay us £1 because that's what it costs to make it. So our loss is limited to that £1. Synovia's tomorrow announcement. Cool, Manu. Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate it. What's talking about it? Nice. Yeah. I need to redeem my coffee next time I come by. You do. Enjoy your Synovia top mount prototype. Not gonna happen. DHL is sneaky. That's a terrible stealth charge. Yeah. So DHL is trolling with that policy. So UPS don't do that. UPS don't charge you for a search for a lost package. They just, they just don't pay you for anything. One of the fun things we had with DHL a couple of years ago. So our account rep was called Anthony, and he was a nice enough chap, but didn't seem to really care, even though we were giving them significant volume of packages. 5,000 packages a month is a lot, and they didn't seem to care or want to fight for the business when we were looking at other courier options. But there was one thing that happened whereby we shipped a whole batch, and that whole batch of products then ended up on a van, and nothing got unloaded from that van for like 2 weeks, and we were chasing them like, where are all these packages? They're all stuck, they're all lost. We can't, the tracking's updated for them. Eventually they found them and delivered them, but it was like probably 3 weeks from it being shipped to it actually arriving with customers, and it was nothing to do with our fault, but there was just a lot of them. They filled up a whole van with them and then just not unloaded the van for whatever reason. And they agreed. They actually came here for a meeting. Did Anthony Gunn and his boss? I can't remember the guy's name now, but they came here for a meeting to talk about it, because it was a load of packages, like maybe 200 packages. And this was when we were in the old workshop. They came for the meeting and they said, have you got a list of all the orders that were impacted? So I gave them a full list. I had a spreadsheet of them. I was like, these are all the orders that are impacted. This is what we've paid you for all of these. I want you to refund me all of that because of the time it's taken me to go out to the customers and say, this is where your package is, this is the delay, this is what's happening. And they said they agreed to do it on the day. They said, yes, we'll 100% pay it. Send us an invoice for the amount. They never paid. Never paid. So, yeah. Find what you lost. Oh no, you pay me to do it. Yeah. Start an investigation. The reason, what they say is, if it's their fault, they will refund you. They don't. All they do is they give you the standard compensation, which is like next to nothing. It's the value of the cost of the package, not the actual value of the retail sale. It's yeah. And do you know what, Moons? They never even replied to me when I tried to I'd email Anthony and his boss, and I was like, you guys owe me this refund. Where's the cash for this refund? No reply. And at this point we'd been transitioning to move to UPS. It's part of the reason why UPS got the contract, because it was thousands of pounds. Like, it was a lot of money. It was enough money that they sent 2 people here to have a conversation about it. Never got it back. So yeah, never got it back. It's a tough one at times. But sometimes there's nothing you can do about that kind of thing. And yeah, I wish there was, but sometimes there's nothing you can do. Can you send the bailiffs over? Yeah. Is there a stream discount tonight? What would you like a stream discount on, Mango Rocky? Tell me what you want a discount on. No one's asked for one yet, but if you ask for one, I'll try and do one if I can. I can't do anything that's just gone in stock, but it's like maybe something we can look at. I bet they got told no by their boss. Maybe. But I mean, like, it wasn't like to the amount of money it was huge to me. The amount of money to DHL, like, it probably wasn't even one bill. It was probably like half of one monthly bill with DHL at the time. So yeah. Lamp KB, yeah, Blue Alert is in stock. Yeah, you can buy it. If you buy it today, Lamp, it'll ship in the morning. Yeah, it's in stock right now. Do you have any DN keyboards? Do you know what? I don't. I built a few, but I don't own any. No, I haven't got any. If you have a set in hand, please show the banderole. I designed it. I want to see it. Do you want me to go grab it? Lamp, I can grab a set. It's downstairs. Give me 30 seconds. I'll be back with a set of Blue Alert. Blue Alert. Sorry about that. I had to run across the workshop to grab it. So, here is the packaging for Blue Alert. Where is the browser button? There it is. This is the packaging for Blue Alert. It's got the Novel Keys branding. Some good old IE6, I think. That Windows stat button. I missed that stat button. Do you remember what that used to look like, guys? Geek hack there as well. It's some really cool packaging. I did show this on Instagram the other day. That good old Windows screen. On this edge, we've just got the logo in the back of the background. Blue Alert as a pop-up box. The Unikey there. Standing on there. Novel Keys logo here on the back in the blue. And in the rear. Oops. I'm upside down. Good old Discord Reason for ban at Lightning, yo. And then Blue Light R2, made in Germany, designed in New York, USA. High quality ABS plastic keycaps. Kiwi, CEO of Lightning Keyboards. There you go. WordPad and Discord. So there you go. You only remember XP? Diego did a great job with the set. He did, yeah. Raid the office whilst Jay's away. Every time DN is mentioned, I get a feeling of dread or trauma response. Yeah. Want to see as well? Nice. The wrapping the GMK set comes in? Yeah, that's the banderole, yeah. The outer packaging. Oh, that means it's time for me to go home. The light's turned off. How does it work with group buys if, say, someone pays for shipping at a point where it's cheaper, then by the time fulfillment comes about, the courier is charging more for it? Is that rate locked in when the customer buys, or is it just a cost PT eats? So we eat the cost. We do have a, so read in our terms and conditions in the FAQs as well, we do have a clause in there that says if the price increases by more than 20%, we might ask the customer to pay some of the additional cost. We've never actually done that, but you know, we've always just swallowed it. One of the prime examples of this is in Israel. We ship a lot to Israel. There's a ton of developers in Israel who buy keyboard stuff, and I love the community over there. I was almost going to go out and see them at one point. They had like a meetup and I nearly went, and I didn't in the end. I wish I had done. And when the war in Gaza started, the shipping prices went through the roof. We had a ton of stuff like in group buy, and instead of costing like £35 to ship there, it became like £90 or £110. And we just ended up swallowing the cost. So yeah. What does a cozy day off look like for me? On the couch with the dog, with my wife, TV on. Snacks, coffee. Yeah, that's a cozy day. The inspiration for this was Keyboard Mania. Nice. It's such a great set. Thank you for the DHL info on lost packages. I've been dealing with a lost package with DHL shipped by ClickClack since November the 30th. Still not resolved yet. Yeah, it's terrible. It happens. Packages get lost. Like, it's going to happen. But UPS is significantly easier to deal with than DHL. Redeem caffeinate. It's too late for that now. It's like 11 PM. No more caffeine today, but thank you. This was me and Viesu's design. Nice. Ever got your hands on the Crush 80? Not yet, no. Not yet, no. Good chats as always. Thanks, Jay. Yeah. Ran out of gamma radiation. Hey, Gog. Thanks for being here, man. Shipping has only gone down over time in the UK. Yeah, that's because we've managed to get better and better deals. It did go up slightly with UPS over Christmas and New Year. Like, they have an annual rise. I think it was 4% increase.
Incredible.
So yeah, like the shipping prices did go up slightly for with UPS, but it has gone down for EU, which is great. We managed to negotiate a better rate for EU. So yeah, it's slightly. It's up to you. Just be careful out there. Thanks for sharing your insights. Have a good night. Yes, it is time for me to go because the light did just turn off. The logo up here, where is it? There it is. The LED light did turn off, which means it's 11 PM, which means I need to go home and get some sleep because I've got to be back here for 7 in the morning. Right, okay. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you need anything, if you want to buy Blue Alert, it's in stock right now. Go buy it. It'll ship tomorrow. But thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the stories. I hope you enjoyed the stuff that we talked about. I hope you enjoyed the build because this is stunning. This is a great little bit of kit. If you didn't join the Optica group buy, maybe now you will. I don't know. Time for me to go home though. I'll see you guys on Instagram and around the world, you know, over the next few days. So take care. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy.